Everybody looks like they're on Facebook, um, YouTube, and Twitch. Okay, once again, good evening. Welcome to the Friday night high school football show for Friday, September 13th. We will have the audio simulcast of tonight's shows. We will have the broadcasters from the original Prep Football Report and also the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Report on WWL. So both broadcasters will be simulcast here on Restream tonight. So if you're coming in, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch, this is a listening post right here. This is not a question and answer stuff right here. So if you got questions and answers, you can send your comments and questions to the WWL and most likely, and also the prep football, the original Prep Football Report. So that's on NAS 106.1, and also the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Report is on WWL. So we'll have that in just a few moments. So if you want to come in and tell me hi, come on down before we start broadcasting these shows tonight. So everybody will be able to listen to game reports from different reporters that's at the game tonight. So if you want to come in and talk about prep football tonight, come on down. We will also have full scoreboard update. I will have the sports updates during news breaks and also commercial breaks. So that will be what's going to happen tonight. So we're waiting on the networks to join each other, so they should be on in just a few moments. So we'll go ahead and go over some MLB scores before we begin. Let's go ahead and do that. Let me get this over to the other side. Switch this over. Okay, MLB scoreboard update before we begin our prep coverage tonight. Cubs leading 17-8. That's in the top of the ninth. Also going into the fourth, it is the Toronto Blue Jays up 1-0. Also the Baltimore Orioles in the top of the third. It's up 1-0. Also Braves and Nationals are scoreless. Also the Mets and the Dodgers. Mets up 1-0. Also tied up at 2 between the Minnesota Twins and Cleveland Indians. Also tonight's games in just a few minutes. Rangers will take on the Oakland A's. Also the Astros will take on the Royals. Also the Milwaukee Brewers will take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Also it will be the San Diego Padres taking on the Rockies. The Reds will take on the D-backs, and also the Tampa Bay Rays will take on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. That will be at 9:07. That'll be just after 9. Also, Seattle will take on Chicago White Sox. That'll be at 9:10. And also, Giants and Mariners will play at 9:15. So that's 15 after 9. We'll give you an update on some college football going on. College football on Friday night. It is 10-0 Boston College. Russ Miles' third game as LSU, Kansas's coach. So 10-0 in that game. So we'll give you an update on more NCAA football. Who's playing tonight on Friday night. So let's go over to the full scoreboard update before we start. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go to the D1s. Waiting on the score to come up. Okay, there's 21-0 Wake Forest on top of North Carolina. Second and 11 at the 39-yard line. Also, at 7:15 Central Time, Washington State will take on Houston. That is Tulane's opponent next Thursday night in Yoma Stadium. So that's going to be tonight's football games. So We will join the Prep Football Roundup. That's on Nash 106.1, and also we will join the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup as well. So let's go ahead and join the original Prep Football Roundup report. That's with Ken Trahan. You will hear all the game reporters from all across the area. So let's go ahead and begin going over to the Prep Football Roundup presented by Crescent City Sports. Crescent City Sports is the broadcast.
Fat Boy's Pizza on Metairie Road. Messina's at the terminal at Lakefront Airport. By Copeland's of New Orleans and Kenner at the Esplanade Mall. Chateau Cafe with locations in New Orleans and Kenner. Moe's Pizza in West Rigo. Hooters Restaurants. Gio's Pizza and Spaghetti House in Metairie. Hobnobber Cafe in Metairie. Frank's Restaurant on Decatur. Manning's Restaurant at Harrah's Hotel. The Happy Italian in Harahan. By Mike Sirio's Po' Boys and Deli on St. Charles Avenue. By Aroma Catering in Metairie, and by That's Amore Pizzeria in Metairie. Now it's time for the best, most comprehensive prep football show in Louisiana. Here is your host and creator for the 25th year of the original. From CrescentCitySports.com, the Kenner Star and the Saints Hall of Fame Museum, Cumulus New Orleans Sports Director, Ken Trahan.
And a pleasant good evening and welcome to week number 2. I love the music. 25th year of the original. Ken Trahan with you. So glad that you've chosen to join us here this evening. And the journey begins. As mentioned, week 2, and a lot of good games on the card tonight. Along with Rudy Dixon, our producer, Darrell Ashley, our producer as well. We have Matt Sims, Jude Young, also Josh Tapia, Travis Trahan on hand here at the studio this evening. We'll be getting out to our remote location momentarily. We also want to remind you about the Greater New Orleans Quarterback Club luncheons every Tuesday at noon at Rock and Bowl 3016 South Carrollton Avenue in New Orleans, including this coming Tuesday. But we'll have a number of really good speakers, including Michael Lewis, the former Saints great and Saints Hall of Famer, Chris Blair, the voice of the LSU Tigers, Monica LeBron, Deputy Athletic Director at Tulane, Tim Falcon, owner of the NOLA Gold, and Bryce Brown, the head coach of 3-time defending state champion Carr. And as part of that, we salute Will Shepard of Mandeville, who is the current RNL Carriers New Orleans Bowl, Greater New Orleans Quarterback Club, Nash Icon 106.1 FM, and Friday Night Football Prep Player of the Week for week number 1 of the regular season.
Hold on. Something's going on. Hold on 1 second. We're having a little issues with the stream, so let me try to fix this, get this back on. So we apologize. We're having a little connection issues with our stream, so we'll see if we can get it back
346 yards, 6 touchdowns, and a 65-35 win at Poplarville, Mississippi. So congratulations to Will Shepard. And, of course, it is Riverdale night at Bienvenue Bar and Grill, 467 Hickory Avenue in Harahan. That's where my comrades, Ro Brown and Les Easter, standing by with my longtime friend Willie Brooks. Gentlemen, good evening.
Hey, Kenneth, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
25th again.
I'm
going to tell you every week, happy 25th.
Well, I'm going to accept it along the lines of thinking that I'm 25 and understanding that I'm nowhere near that.
There you go.
Multiply it times 2 and add a few.
I'll tell you who's closer to it than you or me, and that's Coach Willie Brooks.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Willie looks like he's about 30, you know what I mean? So, the fountain of youth, man.
Does.
I don't know how that happened, but somehow it did. Let me tell you something. Willie Brooks is one of the really, truly nicest people in the business. He's a brother in the Lord. I think the world of him, and I'm unabashedly a fan of his and always want him to succeed. He has had success in the past, and sometimes people measure success by wins and losses only. That's not how you measure success totally, and if people understood that, maybe he'd be somewhere else. But he's in a great place now in Riverdale, really fine school with good people, and he's with us tonight. How you doing, Willie?
Oh, man, how you doing, Ken? I love being here, man. I'm excited about being with some good people tonight.
Well,
I just met his boss, his principal.
Well, I hope his principal heard what I just said, so at least he can keep his job for this semester anyway. I mean, I've already buttered up Sean Temple as much as I can, so and I told Carl Needy, hey, you got a great one there, so I got to work on the principal now, so I'll do my best, Willie, I promise.
Thank you. She's enjoying all of this. She really is.
It's my pleasure. Listen, it's great to have you with us, and I know you want to say hello to our other friend who joins us now as well. the sports director of ABC 26 WGNO, along with NOLA 38 Friday Night Football on NOLA 38 at 11, and on ABC 26 WGNO at midnight. He is, of course, Ed Daniels, who joins us now. Ed, good evening to you.
Kenny, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Tell us where you're at. What's happening?
Well, this is my second game. I went to Country Day in De La Salle, and now I'm at Newman and Bonneville. And Bonneville has the ball, and they just got a false start penalty. So they're going to be playing a 3rd and 11 at their own 21-yard line in the opening series.
All right, so De La Salle defeated Country Day 49-13. A really good performance by the Cavaliers, who are a very good team. Ed, they played Warren Easton tough last week.
Well, they're very physical, and the one thing that is for certain that, Country Day has lost a lot of their interior people, and they lost, they don't have Christian Becknell anymore. And, it's just going to, and they were playing a really good football team. So, not totally unexpected, Kenny.
No. All right, Ed's with us. We'll make him wait for about a second or two here because Cody Futrell's with us from Independence Stadium at the Battle on the Border, and he has an update on West Monroe and Byrd. Cody, what's going on?
Hey guys, early game here. Battle in the sun as 8 sets in the west here at Independence Stadium. West Monroe has dominated this game so far. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go third quarter. West Monroe leading 21-0 over the Byrd Yellow Jackets. Deron Williams, the junior running back for West Monroe, 150-plus yards and a touchdown. And Caden Pierce has 2 rushing touchdowns from the flanker position. He also had a huge 4th and 2 catch on the last possession just a few minutes ago that extended the drive for West Monroe, and then he ran it down from 13 yards out on that next play. Williams has a 96-yard touchdown, 94-yard touchdown runner in the first quarter. Was one of the first quarters of the game. And West Monroe has so far pitched a shutout. Byrd got down into a field goal range on their first possession of the second half, but missed a 33-yard field goal, and they're about to punt it again from midfield. They've yet to, since then, cross midfield here in the second half. So 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter, the Battle on the Board, the first game of a doubleheader here tonight at Independence Stadium. Right now, West Monroe 21, Byrd nothing. Reporting for the original, it's Cody Futrell of GoNewlaSports.com.
All right, thank you very much, Cody. And of course, Ed, Brother Martin handled Byrd 28-0 last week, so pretty good comparison with West Monroe off 21-0 over Byrd in the third quarter.
Yeah, Brother Martin's good. I don't know that much about Byrd, Kenny, but Brother Martin's good. They got a nice team. And here in this game, Bonneville back to punt. They snap the ball over the punter's head, way over his head. It rolls out of the end zone. So Newman has a 2-0 lead with 10:20 to go in the first quarter, and they're now receiving the Bonneville kickoff. Looked like one of your snaps, Trahan.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Looked like one of your shots in basketball. More like it. Come on,
man. It would have
man.
been on target.
Yeah, right, on target. Yeah, right into my hands. And, of course, I know you want to also say hello to our good friend Willie Brooks. It's Riverdale Rebels Night at the Avenue Bar and Grill, 467 Hickory Avenue in Harahan. So say hi to Willie, Ed.
Well, all kind of great things have been said about Willie Brooks tonight. And the only thing I really have to say is, I guess he's okay.
What do you think, Will?
Thank you, my friend.
I mean.
Yeah, I love you, Coach. I just got to rattle your cage a little bit. We need some levity here.
Thank you a lot, Ed. Thank you very much, man. I told you it's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you with us. All right, Ed, seriously, Willie Brooks is a good coach. He's done a really good job for a long time, hasn't he?
Yes, he has, and I know he's got a 2 o'clock game tomorrow, and the one thing I would tell him is, Coach, hydrate, buddy, because I tell you what, I was out there at Country Day at 4:30 today, and it was nasty.
We're going to get you all the big scores. We have some monster matchups across the state. St. Thomas More is taking on Barb tonight. Catholic Baton Rouge is going to start later on tonight. They're up at Independence Stadium playing in Shreveport. They're going to take on North Little Rock, Arkansas. We already have some finals in the books. Earlier today, De La Salle continues their strong start to the season. They beat Country Day 49-13 after that heartbreaking loss a week ago to one of the top teams in our state in Warren Easton. But we have a lot of fun coming up here for you as we're going to get to all all of these scores. And just a reminder, this show is for you. If you want to score, you're looking for a score, text us 870-870. If you have a score, text it 870-870, and we're going to get to all of them right here. We want to pass on all these scores for you here tonight. Before we get started, though, we do it each and every week. We're going to start it with what you need to know for week 2 of the high school football season.
You really want to be careful.
Time to get you set for today's high school football action across the state of Louisiana. Here's Tim Zimmer previewing what you need to know.
I'm not into this hype machine. We all know his name. I think they're handling the family's handling it well. They don't want him interviewed as a freshman. And Nelson Stewart, I think, has handled it well too. But you can't deny
it's going
his
down
talent.
on the North Shore as we have a big slate of action taking place tonight. The Hahnville Tigers Cowboys take on the Mandeville Skippers. The Tigers are trying to bounce back from a 500 season a year ago and are led by quarterback Andrew Naquin. It's the Lions Tigers, but no Bears, as the Holy Cross Tigers head to Covington after falling short last week to St. Thomas More. Meanwhile, the Lions are trying to have a repeat of 2017, where they defeated both Franklinton and Holy Cross to start off their 12-1 season. St. Paul's will host Jesuits tonight. Two teams both coming in at 1-0. A win for either team could build momentum going forward as both teams look to build their records in competitive districts. And finally, it's the big one between the Rummel Raiders and the Slidell Tigers. Last week, the Raiders faced one of the best teams in North Carolina and came out on top 7-3. Slidell had no problems earning a win against Booker T. Washington. The last time the Tigers lost at home was the home opener last season against Destrehan. Other games of note tonight, we get our second look at Arch Manning as the Newman Greenies take on the Bonneville Bears at Joe Yenny Stadium. Manning threw for 3 touchdowns in the season opener. The Walker Wildcats will have their hands full tonight as they try to stop Destrehan, who's led by Alabama commit Kyle Edwards. Look for this game to be high scoring as Walker has one of the top 2021 wide receivers in the state in Brian Thomas Jr. And finally, we have a ball at Tad Gormley Stadium as Brother Martin takes on the Carver Rams. The Rams are led by quarterback Quincy Curry, who accounted for 323 of Carver's 423 total yards last week. They'll face a strong defense in the Crusaders, who shut out Bird 28-0 last week. And that's what you need to know for week 2 of the prep football season.
He's in addition.
All right, Tim. Great job as always on what you need to know. You just set the stage again. A lot of monster matchups. Joining me here inside the studio is Tommy Bosch. He's going to be with us all the way until 10:30 as well. And Tommy, thanks for being with us this evening. And man, you know, I've been talking about it off the air. We've been kind of getting ready for this week. And for me, what jumps out, we got a lot of big-time non-district matchups of some premier programs going out here in the state.
We really do. And some of them, as you can see, some of the scores, they've come out the box.
And I wonder if this team,
so, you know, it's going to be a fun night out on the field tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing that Jesuit-St. Paul's matchup. Jesuit had a nice win last week. St. Paul's had a win that they should have had. This ought to be a really good matchup tonight to see where those two programs stand.
Yeah, certainly some big games on the North Shore as the Catholic League travels to the North Shore. That's kind of one of the themes here tonight. As you said it, Jesuits at St. Paul's, Holy Cross is at Covington, and then Rummel, they're at Slidell. Coach Larry Favre and Slidell's program has really come a long way over the last 3 years. This should be a big statement for them to see how much of a contender they can be in 5A. He's done a tremendous job over there. We know what Rummel has. They're absolutely loaded. They went out of state last week and got a big victory. I know you had a chance to talk with Coach Monica. They got a good football team at Rummel this year.
They do, but you know, there are some questions there, Alan. They didn't score last week offensively. Now they did play a team that was very well known, you know, for their defense in Charlotte, a very strong football team in that area. But I think, you know, for Rummel tonight, the progression of the offense is something you really want to watch. See if they can put some points on the board, keep that defense off the field a little bit, and let them be a solid defense in a shorter period of time.
Another big non-district game. It's not really in the New Orleans area, but still two perennial powerhouses in our state. Ruston from North Louisiana. They travel to the Lafayette area. They're taking on Acadiana, the Wrecking Rams. Also, University High, who holds the longest win streak in our state currently. They're on the road at Neville. I really like seeing these programs that are championship caliber go out of district and take on some of these programs that are going to make them better, especially early in the year.
Yeah, you know, the Wrecking Rams are a program team. Alan, you know that. It's every year. They come back with the same offense. It looks like the kids
are interchangeable. They have a great high school experience at Acadiana. Fun team to watch. Ruston has been kind of up and down a little bit. I'm kind of interested to see if they put their new
car night on our radio show next Friday night.
Show Rutgers maybe how to play a little football.
East Jefferson's leading Santa Maria in the first quarter. Hahnville and Mandeville are tied at 7. I think that has an opportunity to be a shootout. Brad Luminay and Joey Brewer are there. That's going to be our live broadcast on WWL HD2. You want to tune into that? We'll try to get some live listeners throughout the program. But, man, Mandeville really opened some eyes last week, Tommy. Coach Hutch Gonzalez, the second year of his system there at Mandeville. And if you're not familiar with Hutch Gonzalez, he was a star player at Covington High. He went to Southeastern. He was in the Howell Mummy tree. He played for the Lions when Howell Mummy was coaching at Southeastern. They really like to throw the football. They're an air raid team. They put up monster numbers. Quarterback threw for 8 touchdowns last week. They had one receiver go for 6 touchdowns, and they're going to take on a good Hahnville team. I think that could be a shootout.
I was going to say Devon Trott.
Thank our friends at College Inn. Eagle College Inn, the New Orleans traditional and 4 to 10 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, and 3,000 South Carrollton. College Inn
was in the state championship a year ago.
Mississippi last year, so
the lamb shake, great steaks, and more. Let your family invite you down at College Inn, then enjoy bowling and entertainment at Rocketball next door.
Really interesting to see if they can put
Eagle
those
College Inn, 3,000 South Carrollton.
One other game I want to touch on before we get to our first break. Walker and Destrehan. Walker's a program that has really excelled over the last couple of years. They've made a major commitment to football. They bring in their new coach this year, comes over from University High. We know what Coach Robichaux has each and every year. That's a tremendous program. They're always a state championship contender. We're going to find out if Walker can hang with the big boys here tonight. They're up 14-7 in the first quarter.
I was going to say, that's the game I was referencing when I said they came out of the box, rolling, because it's 14-7. Destrehan has the ball. That may be who gets the ball last in that scenario, but you're right. Walker's got a really good program, and Destrehan is always quality.
Man, we're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. You can already see the scores. This is not your prep football roundup from 10 years ago because first of all, football's changed. They're throwing the football more. They're scoring more points. We used to get those winning coaches around 9:15. Now they're more around 9:45, 10, sometimes even 10:15. We're going to hear from coaches. We're going to hear from from callers. We're going to hear from texters. I can't wait to get this thing really cranked up here tonight. We have a great night for you. Let's go ahead and take our first break. We come back. We're going to start checking in with our reporters as they're feathered out all across the state. This is the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL.
Okay, the Prep Football Roundup and also the original Prep Football report will be back in just a few moments. Let's go ahead and go over some scores. We'll go over some high school football scores at this hour. While they're while they're at their network break, we will be doing high school scores and also sports updates as well. Let's give you the updates as of right now. Let's see where we're going. Okay, West Monroe is up 21-0. That's in the third quarter. Scores from the other day, Madison Prep wins 21-14. Metro Academy wins 26-15. Also, it was Centerville winning 35-14. Douglas defeated West Jefferson 23-22. I'm going to tell you that team right there is one good team, Douglas, without a shadow of a doubt. So, back to the scores. It's Iona winning 34-0. That was from yesterday. Also, Oak Grove winning 46-32. Pickering winning 36-32. Also, it was Carr winning 34-14. It was Oberlin winning 35-14. Also, Dunham winning 61-8. Also, it was Oakdale winning 34-0. Kender losing 34-28, and that's and other games going on. Those scores yet. Let's scroll down. Lakeview up 14-0. No scores in the other games just yet. They haven't posted them yet. Also, Walker up 14-7. Southside up 3-0. And let's see. Let's go over some more scores. We'll scroll down. Everything else is scoreless. Assumption Catholic is up 7-0. That's going on right now against Riverside Academy. So let's see what else we can scroll down to. Okay, final. De La Salle wins 49-13 over Country Day. So also first quarter it is Westgate up 7-0. Berwick up 7-0. Turlands Catholic up 7-0. St. Michael's up 7-0. Other games is scoreless. Central of Baton Rouge up 7-0. And let's see, Lafayette up 7-0. We're going over scores via CrescentCitySports.com. Also, Alexandria is up 7-0. Also, Mandeville up 7-0. Other games are scoreless. Wasserman winning 49-0. And also Central Catholic winning 49-22. That is your scoreboard update. So we will have this every hour during the news breaks and also commercial breaks. So that's what's going to happen. Let's return to the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup and also the original Prep Football Roundup from Nashville 6.1.
$18,990. Or drive away in a new 2019 Jeep Renegade for just $17,990. Want to sell your car? Visit online at PremierBuysCars.com. Hurry to Premier Chrysler Jeep Dodge
That's
Ram.
more Pizzeria, 4441 West Metairie near Clearview and Metairie, home of the deep dish, authentic Chicago-style pizza, but there's the New York style as well, and both are superb. Open for lunch and dinner, daily lunch specials that are superb. That's Amore with appetizers, salad, sandwiches, and Creole Creamery ice cream as well. Go to that'samorePizzaOnline.com. Mike Cirio's Po' Boys at 133 St. Charles Avenue, staple of downtown New Orleans for po' boy dining. Serving large, overstuffed po' boys and muffaladas, Cirio's has been in business since 1958. Open from 10 to 3 daily, Mike Cirio's offers authentic local cuisine, and the onion rings and fries are really good too. Go to SiriosPo'Boys.com. And thanks to Sicily's Pizza, 214 Belterre Boulevard on the Plaza, simply the best buffet in the New Orleans area. Every kind of signature pizza, delicious dessert pizzas, pasta, baked chicken, breadstick, soup, salad bar, all the soft drinks and tea.
Online at WWL.com or the radio.com on the WWL HD2 streaming channel. Now, back to the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup with Seth Dunlap and Alan Waddell and our crew of reporters statewide.
This is Cheney.
Welcome back inside our studio here in downtown New Orleans. It's the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup. I'm Alan Waddell, as along with Tommy Bosch is joining me here in the studio here tonight. We have reporters all over the state. We're going to get to those guys in just a moment. We got a texter coming in on the text line at 870-870. They want to know about West Monroe, and that kind of leads us into one of our points. West Monroe is taking place. They're participating in the Battle on the Border up at Independence Stadium in Shreveport. It's a great event that they've done the last few years where they bring in some of our top programs in the state, and they bring in other teams from all over the country. We have some teams participating in that. West Monroe, Zachary, John Curtis is going to participate in that as well. Catholic of Baton Rouge, they're going to play tonight as well. So we're going to keep track of all that, but they have several games tomorrow. But right now, West Monroe leads Bird. That is actually a Louisiana game, but that's the first one of the weekend. Bird leads 24-0 at the end of the third quarter. Let's go ahead and get to we're going to go ahead and get our first round of our reporters. As let's get to those guys.
It's time to check in with our reporters at the biggest games from across the state. These reports are brought to you by the All-State Sugar Bowl, preserving the past, ensuring the future.
All right, kicking us off, we're going to go out to Livingston Parish and Walker. Shane Smith texted me earlier today and said, hey, man, I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to go to the game, but now I do. Walker and Destran, Shane, you're already seeing a treat.
Oh, my goodness, guys, are we? There's not been a more exciting beginning of a game, I don't believe, anywhere. It's 14-7 Walker right now with 4:46 to go in the first quarter. But how we got here is the most interesting part. Walker would kick off an onside kick.
First quarter,
Next play, it was
all right, thank you very much. Rhett Manuel of the Acadiana Advocate, Southside, hosting Church Point. Hey, Rhett, good to have you back. Good evening to you.
Take the lead.
Good to hear from you guys.
Covered the next onside kick, just barely. They got it back. But they
didn't go on a
6-play, all-running drive, and it was marked 60 yards.
We had a field goal scoring for Southside.
Walker not to be able to dominate ensuing possession. We do a double pass again to Thomas, guys. Thomas this time goes 60 yards, 80 yards out, and puts Walker up 7-0. And now just exchange turnovers, and Destran is inside the 8-yard line of Walker, trying to tie this thing up. So with 3:53 to play in the first quarter.
All right, thank you, Buckeye Holy Savior Menard scored the score in the second quarter. Let's stay with the Advocate, the Acadiana version, where James Brewers is
All
standing
right,
by.
Shane, great job as always. We already have some fireworks over there in Livingston Parish. You just heard him. Walker leads at 14-7 over Destrehan. Destrehan knocking on the door. If you heard in his report, he's talking about Thomas. That's Brian Thomas, the wide receiver, one of the top prospects in our state as a junior. 6'4", can really go get the football. He was MVP of the state basketball championship as a freshman. Just remember that name. He's one of those that can be playing on Sunday from our great state of Louisiana. Now let's check in with Albany and St. Michael's as Ethan Bordelon is there.
Hey guys, we got 48 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. It is 7-0 St. Michael's. Albany Hornets took the opening kickoff and they drove downfield all the way down to about the St. Michael's 40 before turning the ball over on down. St. Michael's then takes the ensuing.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it. Mark Gafford of the Town Talks got Pineville and Tioga. Lamar, good evening to you.
Touchdown pass puts them up 7-0 after the PAT. Albany then takes the football back, drives all the way down the field, keeping St. Michael 1 yard line before 4 consecutive goal line stands. Gets us where we are right now. 7-0 St. Michael. 15 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Reporting from Olympia Stadium. Right now, Ethan Bordelon for the WWL All-State Super Bowl football roundup.
All right, thanks, Ethan. Great job. Let's go out to Tangible Hope Parish. We're going to check in with Belo, Brandon Foss. He's watching Amy Laranger.
How you doing? It's a beautiful Friday night here in Laranger, Louisiana. And at the end of the first quarter, it's the Laranger 1-6. Amy Warriors 7. It's pretty much been all Laranger from here. They gave a heavy dose to the running back number 7, Ofield. He's actually the nephew of LeBrandon Ofield, the one-straight running back for Independence High School. And then the quarterback did a play-action pass at the 6 minute and 37-second mark to about a 35-yard pass to wide receiver number 5 for the touchdown. 11 minutes and 38 seconds left in the second quarter. Laranger 6, Amy 0. Reporting from Laranger, Louisiana, this is Brandon Foss for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
One of the games I really had my eye on tonight was if the Slidell Tigers, how they would perform against the Rummel Raiders. Mike Gambrell is at Slidell. Mike, what's going on?
And,
all right, Alan, second quarter just underway here. Our score.
Hosted Holy Cross. Scott, good evening to you.
Nothing. Rumble up. Had the first time chance to score here. Quarterback John Nelson was follow high on the second play of the game. His pass is picked off by Donovan Coffin. They are in business at the Tiger 15-yard line. But Kyle Peterson, quarterback for the Rummel Raiders, he returns the favor. He throws the interception in the end zone. The defensive back, Kylan Franklin, the Tigers hold, but they have to punt from deep in their own end zone. That sets up great field position for the Raiders. They go to a little ground and pound, but they get some penalties they're facing. A first and 26 from the 26, first and goal from the 26. The quarterback Jeff Ferguson finally hooked up with Irene Wright for a 26-yard touchdown pass. The Rummel Raiders go 7-0. Just now, Slidell, they don't have a first down yet this night, and just now they snapped the ball over their head, went into the end zone. That's good for a safety, so they're going to punt it right back to the Raiders. So with 11:46 remaining in the second quarter, our score, Rummel Raiders 9, Slidell Tigers nothing.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike, what's the atmosphere like there? I know that's one thing Coach Favre has done. He's brought in big-time opponents to play at the home stadium of the Tigers. What's that atmosphere like?
Sean, good evening to you. How's it going?
The first two home crowds have just been amazing. This is terrific, too. The Rummel crowd has brought their crowd. We had a flyover from the Coast Guard. The place came up, which is crazy. So, yeah, great atmosphere. It's packed. Just what you want Friday football to be here at Slidell High.
All right, Mike.
Mike Gambrell for the WWL football roundup.
One of the best, Mike Gambrell. He always covers Slidell. He's got a good one over there between the Rummel Raiders and the Slidell Tigers. McMain is at Dutchtown tonight, and Patrick Email is at that game. Patrick, what's going on?
Hey, Alan, Patrick Email.
All right, thank you very much. Sulphur Notre Dame, intriguing matchup. Buck Clemens is there. Buck, good evening.
While I was waiting on hold, Dylan Sampson just went 39 yards to make the score 14-0. The first score came with about 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Deshaun Watkins on a 27-yard reception from Braden Fritchie, the extra point by Cohen Pyrol for both kicks. Currently 14-0 with 10 minutes left to go in the half. It's the Griffins at Griffin Field. I'm Patrick Email live for the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
But Notre Dame.
All right, Patrick, great job. Let's check out again on the North Shore. Another one of those big North Shore Catholic League matchups as Holy Cross is at Covington. Matt Fritcher's there.
Hey guys,
St. Helena, East
149
Louisiana. Smokey Leonard is there with an update. Smokey, good evening.
14, Covington 6. Holy Cross blocked the Lion punt on that Lion first drive. 2 plays later, number 3, J.D. Hardy goes 2 yards for a touchdown run. The PAT was good at 9:52. And with 6:33 to go in the first quarter, a 45-yard touchdown pass to Colin Kirkwood. The catch was good, the PAT was good, and the Holy Cross Tigers led 14-0. And just 2 minutes later, the Lions have a 6-play, 65-yard drive culminated by Reggie Dawes, 25-yard touchdown catch. The Lions went for 2 because the Holy Cross had jumped off the side. They went for 1.5, but were stuck. That's where they are. 146 remain in the first quarter.
All right, Denham Springs at Ponchatoula. Mike Garcia there with an update.
Coming to Lions 6, reporting from Jack Shelton Stadium.
Ken, how you doing?
All-State Sugar Bowl.
Looks like Denham Springs is going to rely on.
All right, let's go to Ascension Catholic as Riverside is at Ascension Catholic tonight, and Thomas emails there.
225 pounds.
Hey guys,
just
party running in the first quarter.
So far, it's only 7-3. Denham Springs is winning right now. 10:35. I'm Mike Garcia.
Live at CrescentCitySports.com right now. It is Newman and Bonneville. Watch it, and here with an update on the game is Carl Meany. Carl, good evening.
Drives of about 60 yards. With 2:38 remaining in the first quarter. Less in the first quarter. Ascension Catholic Bulldogs 14. Riverside Academy 0 live from Daltonville. Thomas Nelson at WWL All-State Sugar Bowl football roundup.
The Notre Dame Pioneers, year in and year out, are state championship caliber. They are playing Sulphur tonight, and Buck Leonard's is there. Buck, what's going on?
We just about to kick away the first quarter. Notre Dame's up 16-0. Make it 9-0. Notre Dame kicked off the Sulphur. We pinned them about the 12-yard line. 2 plays later, Joe Fournier sacked the quarterback in the end zone for a safety. Then on the turnaround on the kickoff on the short field.
Dedication to Joe Zimmerman Stadium. A great man and a great friend. Bell Chase, Archbishop Shaw, Tom Aliff with an update. Hey, Tom, good evening.
We went up 9-0 with about 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. Then we exchanged a couple of punts. Notre Dame finally put another drive together. Another 5-yard run by C.J. Thibodeau that put us up 16-0 with the PAT. 21 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Notre Dame up 16-0 over Sulphur in rain. This is Buck live for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl football roundup.
All right, that's our reporters. Great job, fellas. They'll be coming up again about 7:40. So about 10 minutes from now, they'll be coming back in with some more updates, and we're going to go through that again. And Tommy, you know it's a big night in high school football, and we have a lot of great matchups. We haven't even touched on St. Charles Catholic and Lutcher. You know, 2 of the premier programs in our state. We didn't even talk about them. They're playing tonight. They're tied at 7.
I was going to say, place where Coach Monica became a head coach at Lutcher as a young football coach. Now, facing Lutcher as a head football, winning as a
really good matchup up north. Washington Christian and Sterling. Jonathan Oglesby is there with this update. Hey, Jonathan, good evening to you.
Coaching folks.
And that's one thing we're going to talk about throughout the night that we didn't spend a lot of time on last week, but we've had a lot of teams and a lot of state championship contenders in our state have moved classifications this year. They've kind of moved around. St. Charles is one of those teams. They've been Division II the last few years. They're now in Division III, so that kind of shakes some things up in that Division III area where Notre Dame has really been dominant the last few years. Them and Catholic New Iberia, it's just kind of been their annual showdown every year. But now you throw St. Charles Catholic in that mix, it gets a little more interesting, and we're going to talk about that throughout the night.
It really does. Mike Ambrose mentioned Andre Wright, Mississippi. Of course, he's going to get a lot of opportunity this year because everybody's going to make sure Corey Moore, top 10 recruit, LSU commit wide receiver. They're going to try to make sure that he doesn't beat him. But Andre Wright has got a lot of talent at the other wide receiver, and he can really play.
All right, another big game tonight as Carver is taking on Brother Martin. I thought this one kind of jumped off the page to me a little bit as well. Brother Martin with a big win last week, taking on a Carver team that will certainly challenge the Crusaders athletically on the perimeter.
And I forgot who I was talking to this week, but somebody told me they did 7-on-7 with Carver, and they said it was like unreal. They had so much talent; it was unbelievable. So, Brother Martin obviously doesn't want to get into a shootout with Carver. So, Brother Martin defensively is going to have to control that defense. That offense of Carver, and give their offense a little time to work.
All
right, if you need a score, text us 870-870. If you have a score, text us 870-870. Someone asking for a Lutcher score. We just went over at Lutcher. St. Charles Catholic tied at 7 right now. Also, Live Oak is up 21-0 over Woodlawn. Mandeville and Hawnville are tied at 7. Salmon leaves North Shore 14-0 at this point. Santa Maria leads East Jefferson 13-7. St. Michael's is leading Albany 7-0. Another another big game we didn't touch on, St. James. They're leading East St. John. A lot of talent on that field tonight. And St. Thomas More on top of Barb right now early, 14-0 at home over in Lafayette. Let's get to a break. When we come back, we'll have a lot more right here on the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL.
Reginelli's Pizzeria, 10 locations throughout the New Orleans area in Baton Rouge and in Houston, Texas. Reginelli's Uptown in Lakeview, in the Garden District, Pointers, in Elmwood, on Clearview and Metairie, and in Kenner. Reginelli's with calzones, pasta, soup, salad, sandwiches, and they're all delicious. Open 7 days a week. Go to Reginelli.
Okay, once again, the Prep Football Roundup and also the original Prep Football Show is also in the news break. We'll have scoreboard update. Once again, in the fourth quarter, it is Wake Forest up 21-3. Also in the second quarter is Boston College up 17-14. 8:56 left to play in the second quarter. First and 10 for Kansas at the 19-yard line. So that is where we stand right now. So let's give you some more Prep Football scores. Let's go ahead and we'll go over to Prep Football scores in just a second. Let's switch this out. So we'll give you the scores. Scores provided by ScoreStream.com and also CrescentCitySports.com. So right now it is Charles Catholic up 21-0. That's in the first quarter. Going on in that game. Also, it is let's see. This is Gulfport and Picayune up 21-14. Also, it is Destrehan up 21-14 as well against Walker. Kenner is down 21-0 against Bay Tigers. That's in Bay St. Louis, out in Bay St. Louis tonight. Newman is up 16-0. That's in Kenner against Bonneville. Also, no score between Thibodeau and South Lafourche. No score between Holy Cross and Covington. No score between Jesuit and St. Paul's. And also tied up a 7 between Mandeville and Hanville. Also, Salmon up 14-0 against North Shore. Slidell and Rumble is scoreless. Also, Bell Chase and Shar is also scoreless. Also is Pearl River and Thomas Jefferson also scoreless. CSI Academy and also Covenant Christian is still scoreless. Also, it is Carr and Brother Martin scoreless, and also Springfield and Cohen scoreless. Also, Dutchtown and McBain is scoreless. Higgins and Luxor Charter is scoreless. Also, John F. Kennedy and also Booker T. Washington is scoreless. Grace King and Fisher is scoreless. St. Martin, Episcopal, and Nicole Class E is scoreless. Also, it is Crescent Catholic Crescent Christian is scoreless against Bonnadel. Stone, Mississippi is ahead 7-3 on Hancock. So that's in the second quarter. So score updates will be provided every single hour during news breaks and also commercial breaks. So we'll be a full ahead of it. Let's see if we got other scores on high school football tonight. Let me refresh my page. Okay, we'll give you. Okay, once again, West Monroe is up 24-0. That's in the Battle of the Border up in Shreveport, Louisiana. Also, St. Martin, I just updated that score, is 13-0. They didn't have no score in the other one. Okay, Lakeview is on top 20-0. Sterlington is on top 14-0. Also, St. Charles Catholic is on top 14-7. Brazil is on top 7-0. Bogalusa and Pine is also scoreless. Terror in North Central is also scoreless. Pearl River and Thomas Jefferson is scoreless. Assumption is on top 7-0. So we'll go back to the prep football roundups, All-State Sugar Bowl on WWL, and also Nash 106.1. That's Crescent City Sports. That's Ken Trahan. So we'll have both of them simultaneously playing. So please don't get upset. This is a simulcast, so of both shows.
And Onville atmosphere. They're going to be the underdog in the stadium, and they're going to be in some tough territory.
1112 Avenue H in Oswego, home of the original big 21-inch pie. Mosier's is only the freshest, authentic ingredients. Enjoy many sandwiches, including an outstanding muffalata as well. They cater, they got it all. Bread pudding, off the charts, lemonade, moving the football.
A lot of LSU Tiger fans, I know they pay attention to TJ Finley and what he's doing at Ponchatoula High. He just threw an 84-yard touchdown pass to his brother Cody Finley as Ponchatoula took the lead 10-7 over Denham Springs. I was a little worried about that game, how if it was going to get started on time, because first of all, our thoughts and prayers are with the terrible accident that happened there on I-12 around that Albany exit today, and that's where Denham Springs had to come, to get to Ponchatoula. The traffic was unbelievable on the North Shore today, but that game is being played and it is on schedule as Ponchatoula leads 10-7.
Yeah, I saw that earlier, and certainly our thoughts and prayers do go out to her and her family. And I was thinking about you getting here, to be honest with you, but
that's really early.
A game that surprised me, Alan, from last night, and maybe it shouldn't because Madison Prep has some really good talent, but Madison Prep beating Southern Lab 21-14 yesterday last night was an interesting score because Southern Lab has really been a strong team in that 1A division, and they've even played up.
Booker T. Washington leads Kennedy 14-7. Started the second quarter in that one. Let's check in with Tim Rogers.
That's a very good win for Madison Prep. I'm glad you brought that up. And it seems like we're having more games played on Thursday night. It seems like a few times during the year you have these fairs and things where you might play on a Thursday night, but we have some teams that are playing Thursday night games just about every week. So there's some great games that's been on some Thursday night. We saw Carr and John Curtis play last Thursday night.
And another one from last night, Centerville beating Haynes Academy 35-14. Another small school matchup, but again, those teams, Centerville, has been fairly good over the years. I really thought Haynes Academy was coming up, and it's not Haynesville, it's Haynes Academy. But that was a pretty interesting score from last night.
Somebody looking for the Covington score. Holy Cross leads Covington right now 17-6. Thank you for that text at 878. This time we'll get back to our reporters around the state.
It's time to check in with our reporters at the biggest games from across the state. These reports are brought to you by the All-State Sugar Bowl, preserving the past, ensuring the future.
Joey Brewitt is pulling double duty. He's doing color commentator, and also he's going to call in here tonight and tell us what's going on at Mandeville as Hahnville travel to the North Shore.
Thank you, Alan. Here on the North Shore, it's the Mandeville Skippers 7, the Hahnville Tigers 7. Mandeville received the opening kickoff and started at their own 21. With 90 seconds elapsed, Mandeville turned the ball over on an interception. Hahnville started in the red zone, and after 2 minutes with the ball, the Tigers scored a 4-yard run by Traylor Branch. The extra point made it 7-0 Hahnville. Mandeville started their next possession at their own 36. The Skippers made 3 first downs, got across midfield, and then on an assist from a roughing the passer penalty. 1 play later, Mandeville scored on a 15-yard pass from Devin Todd to Will Shepard. The extra point was good and even it out at 7 apiece. Hahnville's next drive lost 15 yards and the Tigers went 3 and out. Mandeville looked to be on another scoring drive, but with 4:30 to go in the first, a fumble by the Skippers turned the ball over to Hahnville. The Tigers couldn't capitalize and had to punt 3 plays later. The punt caused some trauma. The returner was hit and the flag was thrown, but waved off. Then the referees determined the ball hit a Mandeville player and Hahnville recovered the ball. But 2 minutes later, Mandeville made an interception and got the ball at their own 25. Currently, Mandeville has the ball. It is 4th down and 10 yards to go. Looks like the punting team is coming out on the field. So here in Mandeville, our score is Mandeville 7, Hahnville 7. Reporting from the North Shore, this is
St. Charles Catholic and Letcher tied at 14 in the second quarter. Good game as we expected it would be. Faraday
Albany's taking on St. Michael's and Ethan Bordelon is there. What's going on, Ethan?
East Jefferson, Santa Monica. What's happening, Eric?
minutes and 2 seconds left to play here in the first half, and we are still stuck at 7-0 St. Michael. After the goal line stand from the Albany offense,
The St. Amant Gators
and the St. Michael defense. St. Michael gets the ball. Albany forces them to punt after just one first down. Albany then gets the ball back, moves it down to the St. Michael 34-yard line. Once again in no man's land. Once again unable to convert on fourth down. That's what's been the killer for Albany here today. As we stand, 7-0 St. Michael, 5 minutes and 2 seconds left to play here in the first half.
Santa Monica wasted no time on their first drive. It only took one play to go 54 yards for a touchdown.
All right, Ethan, great job. The Amy Warriors were your 2A state champions a year ago. They lost a lot of talent off of that team, but they always reload. They're taking on the Roger tonight, and Brandon Foster's there.
Back on their own 22-yard line.
How you doing, Al? With 6 minutes left in the second quarter, the Amy Warriors have took the lead at 7, LaRonja 6. At 10 minutes and 9 seconds in the second quarter, number 15 quarterback John Walker hooks up with number 3. For Amy on the 5-yard slant, and that happened on fourth down. So it was a big play, and then right after that, kicker number 3, Johnson Papiglio with the extra point to make it Amy 7, LaRonja 7-yard line to set up Marvin Smith left in the second quarter. Reporting from LaRonja, Louisiana, this is Brandon Foster for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Football Roundup.
Amy leads at 7-6 over LaRonja in a battle of Tangipahoa Parish. Shane Smith is at maybe the game of the night so far as
Downman leads
Destrahan
North
is
Shore
at Walker.
14-7 midway through the second quarter. Holy Savior Menard 14,
what you
Buckeye
got?
nothing. Late second quarter. Here's Marion Benora in Metairie. St. Martin's Episcopal Attic Cold Class A. Marion, good evening.
First half, Destrahan started to flex their muscles in the half, 28-14 lead. As the Destrahan defense stepped up, and on the board with Kyle Edwards popped a 52-yard touchdown run. Guys, he is absolutely the real deal. Alabama on the fourth down 52, and now just now. Edwards, they threw a pass to Manino from about 15 yards out, right, 2 PAT defenders into the end zone. Going to take about 6-0. 27-14 lead for Destrahan getting the PAT. On the 13-yard line with 2:06 left in the quarter. It was 28-14 with 9:58 in the first half. And the PAT from Walker, Louisiana. Lawrence was good. And that's where we stand right now.
Great job, Shane. 21-14. It's a shootout over Livingston Parish as Destrahan leads Walker. The Rummel Raiders are traveling to Slidell tonight. They had a lead last time we checked in with Mike Gambrell. Mike, what's going on?
To you.
All right, guys, with 5:18 remaining in the second quarter, our score, Rummel 16, Slidell 0. Slidell was already down 9-0 when they had a safety. They had a kick from their own 20-yard line. That's a safety. It comes up to the 20-yard line. Donovan Kaufman tails it in for the Rummel Raiders. He takes it, busts up the middle. He goes 80 yards. The kicker just gets him on the toes. They can't bring him down. That puts him up 15-0.
All right, midway through the second, Destrahan now 28-14 over Walker. And let's check in now on St. Thomas Aquinas and Episcopal. David Grubb with us. David, good evening.
Scramble. Sending that point. Looks like the Rummel Raiders will go up 23-0 over Slidell, which is 5:04 remaining in the second quarter. We're live from LB McGee Senior Stadium. This is Mike Gambrell with the WWL. The Sugar Bowl
10-play, 80-yard drive, 72 yards on
5A Sulphur traveled to Notre Dame tonight as Notre Dame had a big lead last time we talked to Buck Leonards. Buck, what's going on in that one?
Picked up the Aquinas.
Well, they got a little bit bigger. Notre Dame just got a second safety on the night
with a 1-yard touchdown.
25-0 with 8:36 left to go to a half. The quarterback was in the end zone. The rush was on
by Oliver.
He intentionally grounded it. They called the safety.
Straight up the middle.
Right before that, T.J. Thibodeau made his third touchdown of the night from another. I think he had 3 5-yard runs for touchdowns. Notre Dame.
Randy Pistorius, it's Faraday, it's Plaquemine. Hi, Randy.
Again with a short field.
Hey, Ken, with
8:36 to half, 25-0.
20-0 lead.
2-8 Notre Dame over the 5-8 Sulphur Tours in rain. This is
on an 8-yard
live for the WWL Super Bowl football roundup.
Holy Cross is on the North Shore tonight. They're taking on the Lions of Covington, and Matt Fritcher's there. Matt, what's going on?
Guys,
with 5:25 to go in the first half. Holy Cross 17, Covington 6. 1:39 to go in the quarter. Eli LaFrance kicks the field goal, makes it 17-6. Then the Tigers driving again, but the Lions, Deontay McDowell, kicks off the pass. It goes to midfield. Lions stalled, had a punt, and right now, the Holy Cross Tigers have a 1st and 10 for the Lions 28 with 5:25 remaining in the first half.
Hi, Randy. Thank you. It's Lake Arthur 13 to Quincy 12. in the second quarter. South Plaquemine Lakeshore. Here is Tim O'Rourke with an update. Hey, Tim, good evening.
The Griffins of Dutchtown are hosting McMain tonight, and Patrick Email is on site. Patrick, what's going on?
Hey, Alan, Griffin's still in control in this one. It's 21-0 with just under 3 minutes left to go in the half. Dylan Sampson once again on a 2-yard run to put the Griffins up 21-0. Big play of the drive. The touchdown went for it on 4th and 2 at their own 15-yard line with John Watkins on a jet sweep.
And that's a great story, too. Tim, we'll check back in. Thank you very much. As Bay High now leads 21-0 over Kenner Discovery late second quarter. Notre Dame is now up 25-0 on Sulphur in the second quarter as well in their contest tonight. And it is now 14-7. Holy Savior.
All right, guys, great job. That's how it's done.
Their contest.
Bounce around the state.
At the terminal at
12 games on location.
Open from 8
Get
to
them
3
to our listeners. That's what it's all about. A couple of scores coming in from out of the state. Biloxi, Mississippi, all over Hammond tonight right now in the second quarter. 28-0. That comes in on our text line from the 985. Also, Scotlandsville, they're out of state as well. They're taking on Natchez, Mississippi. They lead 12-0 in the second quarter. I'm Alan Waddell with Tommy Bosch. Tommy, any scores jumping out at you?
Well, I had one come into him, team in my fantasy pick, or my pool
great
pick.
bar and more. The Archie, the Peyton, and Eli burgers are superb.
Second quarter.
Wow, that's a little bit of surprise. I know we talked last week. Plaquemine has a strong team, but Faraday's been a team that's been knocking on the door to get into the Dome in 2A.
And Plaquemine historically has been a team that will get behind and catch up in some games. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out for the rest of the night.
It's a defensive struggle on the North Shore. St. Paul's leads Jesuit 2-0. That's kind of one of the themes tonight. A lot of safeties. We've had 3 safeties already here talked about on our show. St. Paul's leads Jesuit 2-0. Let's get to a break. When we come back, we'll have a full scoreboard right here on the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL.
Okay, once again, the Prep Football Roundup on WWL, and also the original Prep Football Roundup on Nash 106.1 is in a commercial break. We will have scoreboard updates as well. So let's go ahead and go to the scoreboard updates again at this hour. We're going to do this during news breaks and also commercial breaks. When they go to commercial breaks, we will go to scores. Okay, St. Charles and Luxor tied up at 14. Also, it is Sterlington still up 14-0. Brazil up 7-0. Also, Pearl River right now is leading Thomas Jefferson 35-7. Also, it is Lafayette Christian up 23-0. These scores are provided by ScoreStream.com and also Crescent City Sports. So if you want to get your high school scores and stuff like that and all of your sports, I suggest you go to either ScoreStream.com, download the app, and also go to CrescentCitySports.com. Okay, let's give you the scoreboard update. Once again, Harton is up. Huntington up 14-6. Assumption up 7-0. South Lafourche is still scoreless, and Thibodeau. Also, Southside and Church Point is Church Point's up down 10-8. Also, Natchitoches Central is up 21-6. McKinley and Capital is scoreless. Also, St. Paul up 2-0. Second quarter, it is Destrehan up 28-14. Edie White and HL Bourgeois is we don't know, we don't have an update on them yet. Como is up 20-0. Archbishop Shaw is up 14-7. Also, St. Thomas More up 21-3. Acadiana is up 14-0 on Ruston. White Castle and Morgan City scoreless. St. Mary's and Cedar Creek scoreless. Johnarette and St. John scoreless. Also, Cecily Island and LaSalle scoreless. Mendon and Haynesville scoreless. Also, Hamilton Christian up 8-6. That's in the second quarter. Benton and Elton is scoreless. Also, Grand Lake and Ville Platte is scoreless. Also, Delhi Charter, Peabody is scoreless. Independence and Central Private is scoreless. Also, Calvary Baptist is up 30-0. Assumption Episcopal scoreless. Also, Assumption Catholic is up 7-0. Ben Franklin and Assumption Christian is scoreless as well. So that's in Baton Rouge. The Assumption schools are in the Baton Rouge area. Also, East Feliciana and St. Helena is scoreless. St. Thomas Aquinas is down 6-0 to Episcopal. Also, Roy's Pond is up no score. Also, Lake Shore and South Plaquemine scoreless. Plain Dealing and North Caddo scoreless. Also, Northeast and East Iberville scoreless as well. We don't have an update on them. They kind of late putting in their scores, so that's just some of them are not. Also, Mangum and St. Frederick scoreless. Jonesboro Heights and West Washita scoreless. Buckeye and Holy Menard is scoreless. Also, Homer Christian and Westminster is scoreless. Fisher and also Grace King scoreless. DeQuincy up 12-7. That's in the first quarter. We will have to refresh to see what is the Airville Woods Charter is and Beckman Charter is scoreless. Also, Springfield and Cohen is scoreless. Airline is up 14-0. That's in the first quarter. We don't have an update on them yet. St. James is up 7-0. Also, Jules Sumner and Kentwood scoreless. Crowley and Westlake scoreless. Buckeye and St. Edmunds scoreless. West Feliciana and Livonia is scoreless. So right now they're going to be going to a news break in just about a few minutes. So we'll finish up the scores for them. So Gina and St. Louis is scoreless. Also, Witchwood and Wachita Parish is scoreless. North Webster is up 20-0. Mansfield was up 8-0. That's in the first quarter. Also, Marksville and Balls is scoreless. Amite and Laranja is scoreless as well. Also, Loyola Prep is up 10-0. Capron and North Vermilion is scoreless. Also, Block and Grant scoreless. Let's see, Donaldsonville will take on Port Allen. We don't have a score update on them. Also, so Westgate is up 21-0. South Terrebonne is up 13-7. Turner's Catholic is still up 7-0. We don't know if that's an accurate score. St. Michael's is up 7-0. Faraday 20-0. Northwood Shreveport is up 7-6. Rains up 13-0. Also, Neville is up 7-0. North DeSoto and Parkway is scoreless. John F. Kennedy is down 14-7 to Booker T. Washington. Leesville is up 7-6. Higgins is up 19-12 on Luxor Charter. Evangel Christian is up 7-6. Also, Central Baton Rouge is up 14-0. Catholic New Iberia is down 7-3. Notre Dame is up 16-0. Tioga is up 14-0. Lafayette is up 7-0. Salmon is up 14-7 on North Shore. Live Oak is up 31-0. LaGrange is up 6-0. Holy Cross is up 17-6. So that's not good news for the Owls next week because they will be playing them next Friday. Once again, we'll be in the stadium next Friday. Franklinton and Fontainebleau. Franklinton up 15-6. Biloxi on top 21-0. So that's in Biloxi tonight. Also, Houghton and East Ascension tied up at 7. Santa Mont and East Jefferson tied up at 13. Denham Springs is up 14-10. Also, Central Lafourche is up 6-8. Chalmette and Sophie Rewright will not play tonight. They will play tomorrow night. So if you see the score, if you're asking for the Chalmette score, please, because they're not playing tonight. They're playing next Saturday. this Saturday night. This Saturday they were playing this Saturday, so they'll play tomorrow. So that's just a reminder, folks. Also, Benton is up 7-6 on Vicksburg. They're out of the state too. Also, Newman is up 60-0 on Bonneville. Also, Alexandria is up 7-0. Bay High is on top of Kenner Discovery Charter School 21-0. It is Rumble on top 23-0 on Slidell. Also, it is Mandeville on top 7-0. No score between Deerfield Beach. So that's going to be tomorrow. So that is the scoreboard update we have right now. So we'll refresh it to see if we get legitimate scores. So to make sure everybody don't be confused. So we'll go over the other scores on the score stream side. Let me switch it over to the score stream side while we're at a commercial break and also news break. So let's give you the other scores. Okay, Gulfport is down 21-14 to Picayune. That's up in Mississippi. Also, once again, Destrehan on top of Walker 21-14. We already went over these scores already, so we're just checking to see if we got any more scores on the screen. Okay, 14-0 Salmon on top, so we already did that. So we're just scrolling down to the other scores. So, okay, once again, Stone High School was on top 7-3 on Hancock. That's in the Mississippi area. So once again, if you want to access your scores, go to scorestream.com. That's www.scorestream.com. Make your account or download the app. So download the ScoreStream app. Okay, let's give you some college football scores. I'm going to switch it over to my other screen. Okay, this is the switch over. Okay, Wake Forest on top 21-18. North Carolina has the ball at the 43-yard line. Also, it is Boston College did score a touchdown. It's 24-21 Boston College on top. We're waiting for the other game on Friday night. It's Washington State taking on Houston. They will start in just about a few minutes out in Houston. So we'll have updates on that game throughout the even hours during this show. Okay, let's give you the Major League Baseball scoreboard update. Let's do that. Okay, Major League Baseball going on tonight. Braves up 3-0 going into it's in the top of the 6th. Also in the bottom of the 5th. So now it's in the bottom of the 6th right now. For them, it's still 3-0. Braves. Also, it is the New York Yankees on top 5-3. Also, it is the Baltimore Orioles on top of Detroit 4-0. That's in the top of the 6th. Also, the Dodgers up 4-1. Also, the Cleveland Indians is Minnesota tied up at 2. The Rangers up 4-3 on the Oakland A's. They have a runner at first and no outs, so that's Oakland. Now, Houston Astros up 1-0. That's in the top of the 3rd. Milwaukee Brewers and St. Louis Cardinals are scoreless. Also, the Rockies up 2-0. Pittsburgh wins Chicago wins 17-8. So that's one of the games right there. Chicago wins 17-8. So that is the MLB scoreboard update and also high school football scoreboard update. We'll go back to the original prep football roundup. That's with Ken Trahan on Nash 106.1. And also we will go back to the WWL prep football roundup on the WWL radio.com live stream. So we'll go back to that in just a few moments. If you have any questions about tonight's games and stuff like that, feel free to come in. I will be posting the scores inside the Restream chat room and also the Facebook chat room. So we will go back to the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup presented by WWL.com, and also the original Prep Football Roundup as well from National 106.1.
% off during their semi-annual sale. It's a perfect time to update to Windows 10.
We are family at Premier Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and during Ram Power Days, pay just $22,990 for a new 2019 Ram 1500 4-door, or buy a new 2019 Dodge Journey for just $18,990, or drive away in a new 2019 Jeep Renegade for just $17,990. Want to sell your car? Visit online at Premier Buys Car.
In Neville, and I think Hanville on Mandeville 14-7. And I don't know if there's that many surprises, but there are a lot of games that we thought would be good games are turning into good games. St. Charles and Lutcher being one of those.
Tied at 14, I think it was.
I believe they were tied, yes. And then, of course, we talked about Newman earlier. They're obviously playing very well.
Coach?
Also, Bell Chase and Shaw, I think they're 14-14. I was looking at that score. It's real tight over there. And you're right, Carver and Brother Morton using a lot of firepower on both of those teams defensively. Those guys kind of controlling that game. The last one I thought was the Jesuit St. Paul was like 3-2.
Yep.
It's like a baseball score. So both defenses are dominating at this point.
I think both those schools' baseball teams would outscore them.
That's right. You said they had a 3-run homer, so but the good defense being played, and that's no surprise. And that's St. James 17-0 on East St. John. That's
killed this afternoon in a fiery wreck on the I-12 at the Albany exit, about 10 miles west of Hammond. Sergeant Slaughter with Louisiana State Police says the accident involved 4 18-wheelers and an SUV.
That's why I mentioned that. I wanted to make sure I encouraged them. By the way, 3 turnovers.
Guys rolling.
Yeah, 3 turnovers for East St. John in that game. That's what's put him in that position. So struggling to say the least. Riverdale night. Bienvenue, guys. We'll check back in just a bit. Thank you as always. We'll get back to the playing fields now, where Jason Russell updates us from the Advocate on that Jesuit St. Paul's game. Jason, go ahead.
Well, being September, the St. Paul's Wolves and Jesuit Blue Jays are obliging us as we have a baseball score here. Middle of halftime, Jesuit leads the Wolves 3-2 after a 23-yard field goal, with about 40 seconds left in the first half. Gave them the 3-2 lead. Neither team really has much going on offense. A couple of big plays for Jesuit. Some good defense by the Wolves that pinned Jesuit deep in their own territory, and they blocked the punt out of the end zone to get their only points. So just about 6 minutes before we start the third quarter, 6-7 minutes before we start the third quarter, and Jesuit leads St. Paul's 3-2. This is Jason Russell for the original.
Thank you, Jason. Destrehan 28, Walker 21, late second, and what is turning out to be a shootout. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the original network.
Catch the best prep football show in the country, Ken Trahan's original Prep Football Report, Friday nights during the football season on 106.1 Nash Icon WRKN, Picayune, New Orleans.
And late second quarter now, it's 21-7 Acadiana over Ruston. So Ruston on the board, but still down by the score 21-7. Santa Monica 20.
Because when we drive from the street, we don't know what's going on the inside of the property. They got comparable sales from the neighborhood of comparable property. They can use that. What they're going to do is recommend to the city council what they
Field on the Menard campus. 17-7 is our score with Holy Savior Menard leading. After a scoreless first quarter, suddenly the two wing T-style offenses decided to wake up a bit. Menard got 2 long touchdown runs from Drew Scully, 35 and 28 yards each. Took up a 14-0 score. And then on a 3rd and long play, it was the passing game for Buckeye that got the Panthers on the board as Caleb Falk got behind the defense on a bit of a trick play. Took in the pass from Robert Fowler for a long touchdown pass, 29 yards, if I remember correctly. But that was their score. And then the Eagles, with Holy Savior Menard, added a field goal right as we went to half for the 17-7 score here at the break. This is Richard Tipperville for the original.
All right, Richard, thank you very much. And let's check in with Sean Preston on East St. John, St. James. Sean, what's happening?
All right, guys, I've got a bad connection, but St. James is 17-0, and we just went up 24-0. St. James over East St. John, 24-0.
Wow.
minutes left in the first half. 24-0. St. James over East St. John. I got a wild one here, y'all. I got a bad connection. Thank you.
You got it, Sean. But you got a good team. That's for sure. Jonathan Oglesby standing by. Watchdog Christian at Sterlington. Jonathan, what's the latest?
We got bad connection. Halftime up here in Sterlington. Watchdog Christian jumped out pretty big there in the second quarter. Made a nice drive on a beautiful connection from Hunter Herring down to Will Fitzhugh. Herring took it in to close the gap down to 14-7.
Banking tradition since 1910. Now, back to the Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studios in the heart of the Crescent City. With our WWL prep team of reporters, here's Alan Waddell and Seth Dunlap.
All right, thank you very much.
This is the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup. What can be better than this? 3.5 hours of wall-to-wall prep football coverage here on the Big 870 WWL. We'll be with you until 10:30. We got a lot of great games that are taking place right now. A lot of monster matchups across our state. A big surprise, I guess, to some. Right now, Neville leads University High 21-0. We saw the state's win streak end in week 1 as Carr got beat by John Curtis, and that gave U High the longest winning streak in our state, and that's in jeopardy right now, Tommy, as the Cubs are down 21-0 on the road in Tigerland up there at Neville.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. You would have thought, defensively they would have done a nice job against Neville. They really stacked defensively. Maybe they struggled a little bit offensively against Eric, but they put enough points on the board to win. So I thought that would be a little bit more evenly fought game. I have communicated with some people that are up in North Louisiana. They tell me from what they're seeing, U High's not playing very well.
Well, Neville's playing well. They're up 21-0 right now in that matchup, so certainly we're going to keep our eye on that one as the night goes on. We have reporters all across the state. We're going to get to those guys in just a moment. Franklinton leads Fontainebleau 15-13, and we were at Shaw last week, Tommy. Shaw and Bellchase right now tied at 14 at half. I know that was a special night for a lot of the Shaw alumni as they were naming the field after Coach Zimmerman.
Yeah, that should have been a big... almost like a second homecoming, and I don't know if that's their homecoming weekend or not, but it would seem like it would be a second homecoming for the alumni to come out there. Coach Zimmerman, legendary coach at Shaw High School, and well deserved that they named that field after him.
If you follow our program each and every week, Coach Lou Valden's always a part of our program. He is now coaching linebackers at Shaw, and he's going to check in with us around the 10 o'clock hour. So we'll look forward to seeing how that was. And I know that they were really focused on beating Bellchase. Bellchase beat him a year ago. I can remember when Bellchase played Shaw a few years ago with Blake III in the Dome for the 4A state championship. So there's been some good matchups between those programs. I know there's no love lost between Archbishop Shaw and Bellchase.
Not at all. And that's, Bellchase would like no more than to ruin that night for the Shaw alumni. So, both schools are really motivated in that game. A game that surprised me, Alan, right now, still second quarter, Brother Martin 0, Carver 0. I would have thought Brother Martin would have scored some points. Not sure they could have stopped Carver, but it looks like a defensive struggle out there.
Well, I'm looking out the window, and I know how hot it's been. It's not raining, so they ought to have a fast track as Brother Martin taking on Carver. But you're right, they're scoreless right now over at Tad Gormley Stadium. Let's get back to our reporters around the state.
30-15.
It's time to check in with our reporters at the biggest games from across the state. These reports are brought to you by the All-State Sugar Bowl, preserving the past, ensuring the future.
Check in with Hart Pisani.
All right, Ethan Bordelon's going to kick it off as he's watching Albany and St. Michael's. Albany last week played a track meet. Just one of the highest scoring games in the state. It's a little more low scoring this week, huh, Ethan?
Yes, sir, it is. It is 7-0 still at the half. Winding out the halftime break. Since the last call in, St. Michael's took the ball all the way down to the Albany 40-yard line, and then it was fumbled, recovered by the Albany Hornets. Albany then takes the ball 2 long passes, gets deep into St. Michael territory where they struggled previously. The struggles continued as a fumbled snap set them back 8 yards. Then just 2 plays later, an interception gave the ball back to St. Michael's at their own 2-yard line. line. From there, St. Michael's just took it and ran the clock out. That's where we stand here at
Mandeville,
halftime.
good matchup. Bobby Lightaway with this update.
Reporting from Olympia Stadium, this is Ethan Bordelow for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
A low-scoring one over there in Baton Rouge between Albany and St. Michael's, and like I just touched on, Albany put up, I think, they put up 60-something points last week against Independence. It was a shootout, and they gave up a lot of points as well. So certainly improvement on defense, but not putting up the type of points they did last week. Amy and LaRondra are going at it in Tangipahoa Parish. Let's check in with Brandon Faust.
Holy Cross Covington. Hey, Scott.
It's halftime down here in LaRondra, Louisiana, and it is LaRondra 13, Amy 7, with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter. Quarterback number 6 for LaRondra throws the fade to number 15 in the corner of the end zone, and number 15 makes a beautiful one-handed catch, kind of reminded me of something DeAndre Hopkins would make in the end zone. It's halftime here in LaRondra, Louisiana. LaRondra 13, Amy 7. Reporting from LaRondra, Louisiana, this is Brandon Faust for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
All right, B-Lo, great job as always. Calls in from those A-Meet games. Let's check in with Thomas Email. He's watching Riverside and Ascension Catholic.
Coppage is there.
Hey guys, 22 seconds left in the half. Ascension Catholic 22, Riverside 7. When we left last time,
hey, Mike, what's going on? What's the latest?
Riverside finally gets a stop on defense, and they go to work on offense. Gage Laverdane, it's Tyron Lockhart over the middle for 15 yards for PAT. Was good. And close gap at 14-7. Bulldogs go back to work. Instead of John running it, he throws it just time to hand it to him. He goes around and get a halfback pass, 40 yards down to the 4-yard line. 3 plays later, they stick it in at a 2-point conversion. Good. And that's where we stand with 17 seconds left in the half.
Put up big numbers last week.
Riverside Academy 7 line from Dawsonville on Thomas Email for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
Passing for 100.
All right, Thomas, great job. It's halftime. Tommy, it's 0-0, Carver and Brother Martin. This summer we're going to keep our eye on a low-scoring game over there at Tad Gormley Stadium. Let's go out to the Acadiana area as Notre Dame's taking on Sulphur, and we're going to check in with Buck Leonards.
All right, my good report as always. Thank you very much. Trey LaBatt watching Trinity Catholic, Archbishop Hannon. Hey, Trey, what's going on?
But Notre Dame's up 39-0 now. Jack Falk just scored a touchdown with about 1:50 to go. About a 30-yard pass. Sulphur just punted down to the 6-yard line, but Notre Dame, 21 seconds, they're going to take a knee. But so far, it's all Notre Dame, no Sulphur. 39-0 basically halftime. This is Buck for WWL State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
The Pios continue to roll. They're rolling over Sulphur right now, 39-0 at halftime. Wow. All right, let's check in on McMain and Dutchtown with Patrick Email.
And Bunky, what's happening, George?
Patrick, what you got? All right, let's put Patrick on hold. We'll get back to him in just a moment. Let's go check in with Shane Smith. He's watching Walker and Destrehan.
Hey, guys, with 50 seconds before the half, Destrehan has opened up a 34-21 lead. We've had a lot of fireworks in this ball game, but the ground game of Destrehan is kind of taking this thing over. Edwards has a couple touchdown runs. And Jackson, the quarterback for Destrehan, has 2 quarterback runs for touchdowns as well as a throw to Edwards for a touchdown. And concrete for
Pineville, Tioga, Lamar Gafford, the Town Talk with this update.
a lot
Lamar.
of individual
Right now we're at halftime at the reservation.
But Destrehan has taken a 34-21 lead with 50 seconds to go in the half.
2 big touchdowns in the first quarter on their first 2 drives. Like 20 yards passing.
All right, Shane, great job. A shootout over in Livingston Parish. 55 points already put up in the first half between Destrehan and Walker. Let's check in with Joey Brewer. He's pulling double duty. He's watching Hahnville and Mandeville.
3 interceptions tonight.
Here in Mandeville, it's the Hahnville Tigers 14, the Mandeville Skippers 7. With 8:20 left in the half, Hahnville converted a 4th and 4 on a fake punt. 4 plays later, Hahnville converted another 4th down and got inside the Mandeville 10-yard line.
Hey, Patrick.
With 5:53 left in the half, Hahnville scored on a sweep around the left side. The extra point bumped it to 14-7 Tigers. Mandeville began their drive at their own 30. After 1 first down, the Skippers once again had the punt. Hahnville then went 3 and out and punted back to the Skippers. The half ended with no further scoring. At halftime, we have an excellent game here in Mandeville where the Hahnville Tigers lead the Skippers 14-7. Reporting from the North Shore, this is Joey Brewer for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
All right, Joey, great job. You can catch play-by-play action of that one over on our HD2 channel That is Hahnville and Mandeville. We'll stay on the North Shore as Mike Gambrell is watching Slidell as they welcome in Rummel tonight.
Hey guys, the Friday the 13th nightmare continues for Slidell at the half.
Thank you, Patrick. Good job. St. James 23, East St. John 7 late first half in that one. Let's check in with Alex Newell. Alex, good evening.
Position as Rummel Raiders kick the ball out of bounds. They take over on the 35-yard line. They get their very first down of the game. A screen pass for 8 yards to Harlan Dixon. And on the very next play, Harlan carries the mail again, 21 yards down to the Rummel High School 34-yard line. But on the very next play, quarterback John Autry's pass is picked off by Gavin Holmes. He takes it back to the Rummel 41-yard line. And they drive all the way down to the 7-yard line. They're facing a 4th and goal on the 7, which has 3 seconds left. They try a Patrick Vanderbilt 29-yard field goal, but it is not. Small victory for the Tigers. They go the half down 23-0. Guys, this Nick Monson
and Eric Brown checks in East Jefferson, Santa Monica. Eric, what's up?
Getting off the bus.
Hey,
it will just freak you out. But they are just in total control right now. About 7 minutes left in the half. At halftime, Rummel Raiders fans play solid play. Really is still a great atmosphere here. But final down 23-0 at the half. Reporting live from LV McKinney Senior Stadium, this is Mike Gambrell for the WWL All Sugar Bowl Football Roundup.
All right, Mike, great job. We'll go to Jack Salter Stadium as Holy Cross is visiting the Covington Lions.
Guys, on a Friday the 13th, under a full moon, the score. 2 seconds. Holy Cross Tigers 7, Covington Lions 6. There was not much action in the second quarter, just a stalemate back and forth defensively. Right before the half, 21 seconds, the Tigers missed the 26-yard field goal. So the battle between the Catholics and the Country Boys. Right now, it's the Catholics. Holy Cross 17, Covington 6. Reporting from Jack Salter Stadium. That's it for WWL All Things Football Roundup.
All right, guys, that's how it's done. Reporters all across the state catching us up on all the big games going on. Got a couple of updates coming in here on the text line. Biloxi still leads Hammond High 28-0. Also, Ascension Christian beats Ben Franklin 49-26. Opelousas Catholic leads Vermillion Catholic 21-7 at this point. And a reminder, coming up at 8:30, the Catholic High of Baton Rouge Bears, they're going to kick it off at Independence Stadium in Shreveport against North Little Rock, Arkansas. A lot more to come right here on the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL. Stay with us.
Once again, they're at a commercial break for both networks, so we'll go over scores once again. We have scores on the screen via Crescent City Sports and also sportsstream.com. Okay, let's go over some scores while we're waiting for the prep roundups to come back on the screen. It is Lakeview up 44-0. General Trash and Chensaw, no score. Also Gander and Delcom is no score. Also it is Sterling up 14-0. Cy Academy, no score. Once again is Parkview Baptist up 21-0. Up in Luxor is tied up at 14 with St. Charles Catholic. Brazil's up 18-0. Lorville up 20-14. It is Pine up 30-15. Also Pearl River up 42-7. That is in the at halftime. Also it is Lafayette Christian on top 37-0. Huntington on top 14-6. It is also Assumption up 21-0. It's 10-3 Thibodeau on top of South Lafourche. Also the South Side on top 16-15. Up in Manning, Louisiana, it is Manning on top down 21-12. So 21-12 Natchitoches Central on top of Manning. So Destrehan on top 28-21. At halftime, low-scoring game between St. Paul and Jesuit. It is 3-2. Also, it is Como up 20-0. Edie White up 28-0. Bell Chase and Shars tied up at 14. Barb is down 28-10. It is Acadiana up 21-17. Also, it is Cedar Creek up 21-0. Also, it is Montgomery on top 48-8. Whitfield on top 34-7. Sicily Island and LaSalle scoreless. Also, Highland Baptist is tied up down 8-6. That's second quarter. Also, it is Delta Charter and Peabody scoreless. Elton and Benton. Benton's up 8-0. Also, we all have an update on the Independence and Central Private game. Calvary Baptist up 20-0. Assumption Catholic up 7-0. And let's see, Mangum on top 13-6. It is 35-8. Lakeshore on top of South Plaquemines. Also, it is 19-12. Lake Arthur on top of DeQuincy. Let's see, other scores. Other things are scoreless. Also, it is tied up at 15 between Jules Sumner and Kentwood. Also in let's see, Crowley up 18-6. That's second quarter. Also, it is Airline up 16-6. St. James on top 24-0. Still in the second quarter. No updates there. Also, it is Ouachita Parish on top 21-0. North Webster is on top 26-7. 8-0 Mansfield on top. Last score I heard on the roundups, I think it was 13-7 A-Meet or Laurentian. We don't have an update yet, particular update. So on the A-Meet Laurentian game, if you're asking for that score as well. Also, Loyola Prep is up 10-0. Also, Capron is up 14-7. Bolton and Grant still scoreless. Let's see, edit scores. We have Bossier on top 28-7. Westgate on top at halftime 30-0. Turnless Captain on top of Hannon 35-0. Also South Terrebonne on top 13-7. St. Michael is still up 7-0. Faraday up 20-0. Northwood Shreveport on top 7-6. Rain on top 13-8. Northwest is on top of Opelousas 22-14. Neville is still on top 21-0. Also, Parkway is on top 6-0. Dutchtown is on top 24-0. At halftime, it's Lecture Charter on top 20-19. Also, it is still Lake Charles and Leesville tied up at 14. Booker T. Washington is up 14-7. Also, it's Eunice on top 12-0. Brother Martin and Carr. There's no score on that one. Last time I heard Bastrop up 14-7. Also, it is the Ritter on top 19-12 second quarter. Also, it is Central Baton Rouge on top 35-0. It is also Brobridge on top 13-9. Port Barrier on top 13-0. Notre Dame on top 32-0 second quarter. Terrebonne on top 31-0. That's at halftime. Also, Tioga on top 14-0. Carrico on top 28-7 halftime. Also, Lafayette on top 17-7. It is Salmon on top 21-7. Live Oak on top 38-0 halftime. And also Sam Houston on top of LaGrange by the score of 19-14. Holy Cross, this game right here, it's important because next week we are going to be playing them in Bobby Nuss Stadium next Friday night. They're up 17-6 against Covington. Also, Franklinton on top 15-13. Biloxi is on top of Hammond 21-0, tied up at 7 between Halton and East Assumption. Santa Mont is on top 27-13. Also, Ponchatoula is up 17-14. Central Lafourche is up 18-6. Benton is on top 21-6. Bonneville is down 30-0 to Newman. Alexandria is on top 7-0. We don't have an update there. It's probably still in the second quarter, something like that. Also, Bay High is up 21-0. It is Rumble on top 23-0. So we will get back to the prep football roundups in progress. Once again, we will have a full scoreboard update during news break hour. That will be around 9 o'clock. So Let's go ahead and go back to the Prep Football Roundup on WGSO and also on WWL radio.
Field came up just short as time ran out, and they had the ball at the 2-yard line. So we're at halftime here in Clinton, Louisiana. The Tigers of East Louisiana 14, the Hawks of St. Helena 6. This is Smokey Leonard reporting for the Original.
Scores First scoreboard update from CrescentCitySports.com is next, but first an update from Albany St. Michael with Hunter McCann. Hunter?
Hey, Ken, yes, same score here for St. Michael. There's 4:44 remaining in the third quarter, and it's 7-0 still St. Michael Warriors.
This looks like the area that they really could settle in and be there long term and is in their competitive circle. So, hopefully that holds true. I don't like when you see a lot of movement, because I think it confuses a lot of the fans, and you lose some of those traditional matchups. But I think this is an area where Evangel can really sit at.
I'll tell you, it was interesting this week. The coaching staff for University High, we documented earlier that they're playing at Neville this week, and I thought one of the unique quotes that came out from that coaching staff was, "Hey, Evangel's now in Division II. There could be a chance that we might have to take a long road trip." They wanted to be able to do that, put their kids through that, because for the last few years, Division II has been dominated by Southern Louisiana. There was no big road trip if you were a Southern team.
That's correct. And even if U High does end up losing tonight, that experience is going to come back. And, you learn, Alan, you learn when you travel. You learn some of the gotchas the first time you make that long road trip, something you forgot. Your checklist gets refined, and you're much better prepared for that second trip.
Also, on the private school, I'm sorry, we just talked about private school. On the public school side, the big mover for me is Kentwood. Kentwood won the state championship a year ago in 1A. They move up to 2A. Kentwood, I'm from Tangipahoa Parish. They've been 1A as long as I can ever remember, and to my knowledge, the only reason they're AA is there was a mistake on some of the paperwork. But after saying that, the Roos moving up to AA, they now jump into a district with St. Helena and Amite. It turns into one of the top AA districts in the state. That's teams that have been in the Dome recently, within the last 3 years. St. Helena was there a couple of years ago. Obviously, Amite won a state championship in 2A last year, and Kentwood won it in 1A. There's going to be some wars between some small public schools in Tangipahoa Parish and St. Helena Parish right there.
As if you needed another reason to hype up the Amite Kentwood game.
Right.
I mean, that game every year is always a road trip ready to happen.
Well, for years the brothers coached there. Donald and David Career coached at Kentwood and Amite, and that was an annual. They called it the Career Bowl. Right there in Tangipahoa Parish, but for years Amite was AAA and Kentwood was 1A, and they had some outstanding matchups. That's one of those you have to show up at 3 o'clock to get a seat for the game, and now that rivalry kind of comes back. It's back, as now they're going to be district rivals, and I think there's a very good chance AA runs through that district. One of those 3 teams is going to be in the Dome.
Boy, I tell you what, how about 2 Kentwood Amite matchups during 1 year? That would be really nice for those 2 towns and for those kids.
Lead over
it would be fun to watch.
Spring.
So that's some things you want to keep your eye on, because this year is one of those years where we have some championship caliber programs moving around. They're playing in different classifications, and who knows where those private schools will be playing state championship games. We'll try to figure that out here as the year goes on. It's been an interesting time here in high school football in the state of Louisiana. Let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we'll get back to our reporters right here on the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL.
St. Charles Catholic and Letcher tied at 14. Pearl River up 42-7 over Thomas Jefferson. It's Huntington 14, Booker T. Washington 12, Lafayette Christian 37, Northside nothing. Assumption 21, Patterson nothing. We have more scores, including E.D. White leading 28-0 over H.L. Bourgeois. It's Lakeshore 35, South Plaquemines 8, Bolton 26, Grant nothing. Turling's up 35-0 over Hannon. It's Westgate 30, Vanderbilt Catholic nothing. Bossier 28-7 lead over Lakeside. Berwick leading South Terrebonne at the half, 21-20. It's St. Michael with a 7-0 lead over Albany already in the middle of the third quarter. It's Faraday 36, Plaquemine nothing.
And St. Paul's has just hit their own 3-run homer to retake the lead over Jesuit. 5-3 in the third quarter at Hunter Stadium. That one hot off the presses. It's Northwood 7, Green Oak 6. Northwest 22, Opelousas 14. We have the most interesting score of the night now, early third quarter. Neville 21-0 lead over U-High. It's Booker T. Washington, New Orleans 14, Kennedy 7. Leesville and Lake Charles College Prep are tied at 14. It's Breaux Bridge 13, Catholic New Iberia 9. DeRidder up 19-12 over Washington Marion. It's Port Barre with a 13-0 lead at Beauchesne. And we have Tioga leading Pineville now 14-0 there early in the third quarter of that contest. And making sure we haven't missed anything. We haven't. Well, one more. Benton up 21-6 at Vicksburg. That's all I've got for now, so that must mean it's time for Matt Sims.
All right, Jude, final scores. Madison Prep 21, Southern Lab 14, Mentorship Academy 26, Estrema 15, Centerville 35, Haynes Academy 14, Frederick Douglass 23, West Jeff 22, Iota 34, Welsh nothing, Oakdale 34, Pine Prairie nothing, and Iowa 34, Kinder 28. Now scores at the half, it's Sterlington 20, Washita Christian 7, Covenant Christian 13, Cy Academy nothing, St. Charles 14, Lutcher 14. First quarter, Bazille 18, Mamou nothing. Second quarter, Lauraville 20, Erath 14. Second quarter, Pine 30, or halftime, Pine 30, Bogalusa 15. Halftime, Pearl River 42, Thomas Jefferson 7. Halftime, Huntington 14, Booker T. Washington 12. Halftime, Assumption 21, Patterson nothing. Southside 16, Church Point 15, Peabody 28, Delta Charter nothing, South Beauregard 26, Rose Pine 14. All of those at the half. Second quarter score, Crowley 18, Westlake 6, Airline 16, Union Parish 6. Now into the fourth quarter, Jewel Sumner has taken the lead on Kentwood 27
Facebook for reviews. LaBella Vita Laser and Vein
Now
Center.
Holy Savior Menard 24.
Wide
Buckeye
Scoreboard
7.
brought to you by Tulane Doctors Sports Medicine Plus. Log on to WWL.com and stay tuned for our live top 25 scoreboard later this hour. Now back to the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup with Seth Dunlap and Alan Waddell.
Halftime North Webster 26, Logansport 7.
I'm Alan Waddell with Tommy Bosch. We're live right here at the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup, coming to you from our studios in downtown New Orleans. Most of our games are at halftime right now. We'll get to some more scores in just a moment. As it looks like almost all of them are at halftime. I'll tell you an interesting one over there on the North Shore. St. Paul's and Jesuit, Tommy. It's 5-3. 5-3.
8.
Well, you know, we wondered about whether St. Paul's and Jesuit both could continue, their first week of offense. It looks like they're
well, that also means that's two good defenses because they played well offensively a week ago against some good opponents. So 5-3 right now on the North Shore over at Hunter Stadium. Let's take a live listen in right now as our WWL HD2 game of the week is live over at Mandeville as Hawnville is taking on the Skippers.
East Beauregard 36.
Allowing us to play.
Dunham 61,
Counts
Thrive
his
Academy
teammates.
8.
Sees that he's got enough.
Scores
He
that are in
approaches the
action
ball,
at
puts
the
his leg
half.
into it.
Lakeview
It's a
all
nice
over
high
North
end over end
58
kick
nothing.
that's going to go
Also
into
at
the
the
end
half,
zone
it is
for a
Highland
touchback.
Baptist 12, Hamilton Christian
the receivers
8.
better be glad that went into the end zone because he didn't even try to go
scores
for it. He watched it bounce and headed. Waited a little bit more to get into the end zone. Mandeville could have recovered that one just outside of it.
Darrell Evans was the deep man. He's the running back who stays on the field as Hawnville sends the offense out. Hawnville in the purple helmets and purple pants
Platte 7.
with white shirts
Calvary
and
Baptist
purple
30,
letters tonight.
Southwood nothing. Ascension Catholic 22,
Tigers
Riverside
having some
Academy
trouble here
7.
lining up. Troy Kendrick, the wide receiver who scored on the jet sweep to give Hawnville the lead.
All right, that's the live listening of Hawnville and Mandeville. If you want to hear complete play-by-play coverage of that one, you can turn your radio over there to HD2. 105.3 HD2, and or online at WWL.com. That's Brad Lumine and Joey Brewitt. It's a good one. Hahnville's leading Mandeville 14-7.
You know, nothing. Second quarter,
Hahnville's kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers of high school football this year. Last year was just so much off the field.
16, Franklin 8, another
noise.
final.
I guess is the best way to deal with it. You know, those kids last year had to put up with so much of the whole Andrew Roberson thing, where he was not eligible, and he was eligible, and he came back for the playoffs. And I think Hahnville and Coach Salter Maggio, they're just happy to be kind of flying under the radar and playing football here in 2019.
Yeah, I agree. You know, when you're in that situation week after week, you're trying to figure out, you know,
Oberlin over
they didn't know they were going to play. Exactly. And you know they were getting him ready every week, so it takes time away from your second string. But you know, I tip my hat to them because they played hard every week. And you're right. I think they're just happy to be playing football. And you know, and really, when you think they had Pucamania the year before that, so you know, they've been in the limelight for a couple of years for good reasons and you know, not so happy reasons. So it's good to kind of be under the limelight. But you know, once they go to Destrehan, that limelight will be on them.
Yeah, we'll certainly be watching that game. Speaking of Puka, the Kansas Jayhawks have found some offense all of a sudden. They have 31 points in the third quarter against Boston College right now. They've had trouble scoring with Coach Les Miles the last few weeks. Only 7 points last week against Coastal Carolina. They have 31 against a good Boston College team. As Puka Williams kind of leading that charge. You know, he's one of their explosive playmakers over there for the Jayhawks. Salmon leads North Shore 21-7 in the Slidell area. Both of those programs trying to kind of become relevant again. You know, Salmon had their heyday. North Shore, they're breaking in a new football coach this year, Coach Josh Buell. But you know, that Slidell area, it just seems like it's kind of circular. You know, who's going to be good? And Slidell's kind of had the upper hand the last few years.
Yeah, they have. But you know, they also have Lakeshore over there.
Yeah.
And we know that they're pretty good. I mean, you know, I think they're winning 42-8 at halftime right about this time. So. You know, that's a program that, like you said, we were talking earlier, that program's going to be there for a while. It's going to be strong for a while. And, you know, it really makes that North Shore district, you know, almost like the Catholic League of the North Shore, because they beat each other up so much during the year that when they get into the playoffs, they got to kind of heal a little bit in order to compete.
We had a couple of years ago, Coach Bowden and myself, we had a chance to go to that semifinal game when Lakeshore played Rain. It was a very impressive game. You know, they ran into a buzzsaw against Carr, but, you know, that happens to a lot of people. But Lakeshore's a program. They've really made a commitment to athletics. They have beautiful facilities. They have a beautiful school. The school's pretty new over there in the Lacombe area, you know, right between, you know, Mandeville and Slidell. And they've built a great facility, and they're not going anywhere, Tommy. I'll tell you, that they're going to be around. They're going to be a contender for quite a long time. Chris Penton a couple of years ago put up monster numbers for those guys. And I tell you, Lakeshore, it's a good program. They're becoming really relevant in a lot of sports. They had a tremendous baseball team this past year. So over there on the North Shore, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, we've kind of tooted their horn the last couple of years, and Lakeshore just keeps winning, and they keep putting up points.
And I think they had a really good girls softball team last year. So it's been, you know, it's been all sports, and you know, they're just getting some good athletes in that area. So, you know, when you get good athletes and you mix that with good coaches and you mix that with the support of the school system and the fan base, it's a great experience for a high school athlete.
Brother Martin and Carver are still scoreless in the third quarter at Tad Garland. We thought that had a chance to maybe be a shootout with Carver and all their offensive weapons. Mama hot for Brother Martin and what he can do offensively. But right now, it's a defensive tractor pull at Tad Gormley Stadium as Brother Martin and Carver are scoreless in the third quarter. Dutchtown continues to roll right now, 31-0. We'll get an update on that game in just a moment. Episcopal of Baton Rouge leads St. Thomas Aquinas 20-13, and Lutcher and St. Charles Catholic in a game that has kind of flown under the radar a little bit this week with all the other big matchups going on. They're tied at 14 at halftime. Let's go ahead and get back to our reporters across the state.
It's time to check in with our reporters at the biggest games from across the state. These reports are brought to you by the All-State Sugar Bowl, preserving the past, ensuring the future.
Albany put up over 60 points last week against Independence. They're in a tight one. In a low-scoring game against St. Michael, Ethan Bordelon is there. What you got, Ethan?
It's happening for
guys, the score is still 7-0. St. Michael has not moved from the second possession of the football game. Opening up the second half, St. Michael takes the ball, moves down the field. Albany forces another fumble, recovers it, but the ensuing drive does nothing for them, only for St. Michael to come back on offense, fumble once again to be recovered by Albany. Albany then throws an interception just a couple of plays later. St. Michael gets the football back, drives down a little bit, ends up turning the ball over on downs. Albany's got the ball back, a couple of chunk plays. They're currently the St. Michael 20 as J.J. Gordy rolls out, fires, passes tipped up, and incomplete. Ball is still at the 21-yard line with 11:17 to play here in the fourth quarter. We stand at 7-0.
Tom Bodette.
Reporting from Olympia Stadium,
convincing a lot of people to do something
WWL
makes you
All-State Prep Sugar Bowl Roundup.
All right, Ethan, great job. Low scoring one there. St. Michael leads Albany 7-0. Let's go to the North Shore as Slidell welcome in the Rummel Raiders tonight. What you got, Mike Gambrell?
Yeah, real good welcome. With 7:45 remaining in the third quarter, our score, Rummel 37, Slidell nothing.
Wow.
Rummel already had a 23-0 lead at the half. They would get the ball to start the second half. They get their worst starting field position at their own 38, but not a problem. It only takes 5 plays, so they go 62 yards. Capped off by a 31-yard touchdown run around right in by running back Jalen Sturgis. The big man rumbles in. They go up 30-0. On the next possession, Slaughter quarterback Jonathan Autry is back to pass. He is sacked at the 5-yard line. He fumbles, and big number 32, Jordan Williams, jumps on it for the Rummel Raiders. That's a touchdown. They are up 37-0 with 7:45 remaining in the third quarter. Rummel over Slidell. Reporting live from LV McKenzie Senior Stadium, Mike Gambrell for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
I know it's early. Rummel hasn't given up a point yet. I'm sorry, they've given up a field goal. They haven't given up a touchdown. Through 6 quarters now, on 7 quarters. So the Rummel defense certainly looks stout here in 2019. An update: St. James leads East St. John 23-7 at halftime. That game's being played at St. James tonight. Let's check in on McMain and Dutchtown with Patrick Email.
Hey, Alan, Patrick Email live here from Dutchtown. It's still all 1-0 as Blake Lewis on a short touchdown run for the Griffins. They came on after McMain returned the opening kickoff, gave them decent field position, but on the first or second play they turned the ball over, and outstanding play by Jamel Jala, the linebacker for the Griffins. So it's currently 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Here live from Griffin. Nothing Griffin. Patrick Email for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
All right, Patrick, Dutchtown looking good tonight against McMain. Let's check in with Shane Smith. He's in Livingston Parish tonight watching Destrehan and Walker.
Hey, guys, we are at the half. It is 34-21 Destrehan. The story of this game is the explosive start for the Walker Wildcats. They would jump out to be a 14-7 lead on our pair of bombs received by Thomas, the very talented wide receiver for Walker. But Destrehan's defense and the running game of the Wildcats would take over the rest of this ball game so far in the half. And the Alabama commitment Edwards has a pair of touchdowns. Jackson, the quarterback, has a pair of rushing touchdowns as well as a throwing touchdown. And the Destrehan Wildcats are leading at 34-21 over the homestanding Walker Wildcats. From Wildcat Stadium, this is Shane Smith reporting for the WWL Prep Football Roundup.
Roger.
That game's at halftime. It's 8:45. That just shows you, what kind of offense they're playing. I'm just kind of scrolling through these games here, Tommy, and a lot of the games that we're covering here tonight, I think I got about 30 on the screen. There's 2 in the fourth quarter. So there's a lot of score points being scored. There's a lot of throwing the football going around. I can remember it vividly. My high school games ended at 9 o'clock. We were done. 9 o'clock. Not anymore. We're still playing into the 10 o'clock hour. All right, let's check in on the North Shore as Amy's taking on LaRondre. Here's Brandon Foster.
Episcopal Eddie Cole Classic. Marion.
How you doing now? With 3 minutes left in the third quarter, it's Amy 14, Laranja 13. At about the 7-minute mark, number 7 for Amy, Miami commit Dion Branch with the scoop and score for about 40 yards. The PAT is good after from Jonathan Bafiglio, and Amy takes the lead 14-13 with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Reporting from Laranja, Louisiana, this is Brandon Foss for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
All right, Brandon, great job, and congrats, Faust. All right, let's check in with Matt Fritcher. He's watching Holy Cross and Covington.
Hey, guys, 5:58 to go in the third quarter. Score Holy Cross 17, Covington 6. Baron Padilla right now attempting a 26-yard field goal. Here we go live. Pick it up, and it is off to the left. So 5:53 remaining in the third quarter. The score, Covington Lions 6, Holy Cross Tigers 17. Reporting from Jack Salter Stadium, Matt Fritcher for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
All right, Matt, great job, and great job to all of our reporters as most of these games now in the third quarter. Berwick leads South Terrebonne 21-0. See if we can get some more scores for you. I know we have somebody asking about the Shaw game. I'm going to try to look that one up. It was 14-14 at halftime last time we had a score. We'll go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, I'll have some more updates for you right here on the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL.
All right, thank you, Greg. Episcopal 20-13 over St. Thomas Aquinas in the third. Assumption leads Patterson 21-0 in the fourth. St. Paul's has scored again. They lead Jesuit 12-3 in early fourth quarter. Biloxi over Hammond 34-0 in the third. Santa Monica 34-13 over East Jefferson in the third. Vincent 30-0 over Elton in the fourth, and North Webster 33-7 over Logansport. That is in the third quarter. And our thanks to Copeland's Restaurants and New Orleans tradition with the right spice. Crawfish beignets are a great way to start. Sandwiches awesome. Steaks, various pasta dishes, penthouse salad, and the fish terrific. Copeland's in New Orleans, Jefferson, Harvey, Kenner, Slidell, Covington, Houma, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Alexandria, Monroe, and Shreveport. Visit CopelandsandNewOrleans.com.
Come on down to the Silver Slipper. Hi, this is John from the Silver Slipper Casino, and I'm here to tell you that...
Okay, once again, the Prep Football Roundup on WWL and also on Nash 106.1. It's in a commercial break. We will have scoreboard update. Let's go ahead and do that while we're waiting for the roundups to come back on. Everybody on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, we are putting scores in as well. If you notice that, we will. If you see that in the comic section, we will post scores as they come along. Okay. Let's give you a scoreboard update right now. It is Laurelville on top 20-14. Pine on top 30-15. Also, it is Natchitoches Central still up 21-12. Also, Wentzville is on top 34-7. Elton and Benton up 8-0. We just got an Amite scoreboard update. Amite is up 13-14, so that is in the game. Also, it is Grand Lake on top 15-7. It is Point Catholic on down 21-14. It is Calvary Baptist on top 30-0. It is also Assumption Catholic on top 22-7. It is also South Bar going on top 26-14 against Rose Pine. Also, it is still 35-8. Lakeshore on top of South Plaquemines. Also, Menard on top 24-7 on Buckeye. Also, it is Mangum on top 13-6. DeQuincy is down 19-12. Also is Fisher. We don't have a score in that game. Springfield is on top 7-0 on Cohen. DeAmbro, Woods Charter versus Beckman Charter, no score as we looking. Also, Bulky, no score against St. Edmunds. Mansfield is on top 8-0. Amite, once again, on top 13-14. It's not up on Crescent City Sports, but we are going to get them throughout the broadcast. So, with the game reporters. So, if you're listening for your scores, if you need a score, just come in and I'll look them up as humanly possible. So, if you need a score, just look up. Just come in and tell me I need a score of one of the games, and I'll give it to you. I'll see if it's on there. If it's not, we might we'll figure out something. So okay, Faraday on top 36-0. Bossier on top 28-7. It is Brosebridge on top 20-9. Notre Dame on top 39-0. Central Lafourche is on top 43-8. And also Newman is on top 37-0. That's in the halftime. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's in the third quarter, but they haven't updated the scores yet. So let's give you a score screen update from scorestream.com. Scorestream.com. Turles Catholics up 35-0. That's in the second quarter against Hannon. Also, Picayune on top 34-28. Also, Destrehan on top 34-21. That is in the second quarter. Also, Belchase and Shaw tied up at 14. Santamont is on top 20-13 on East Jefferson. 23-0 Rumble on top of Slidell. Also, it's no score between Livingston and Norfolk Christian. That's in the first. Also, Dutchtown's up 24-0. Holy Cross is up 17-6 still. Also, it's tied at halftime 13-15 Franklinton. North Shore is on top 21. No, Salmon on top 21-7. Excuse me. Okay. St. Martin is on top of Pearl River Central. That's out in Mississippi area. St. Patrick's Catholic High School on top 7-0. Also, it is Luxor on tied up at 14, and then also it is Hanville and Mandeville tied up at 7. Also, Stone, Mississippi is on top 15-3 at half. Also, Bay High School in Bay St. Louis is up 29-0. St. Michael's up 7-0. Also, I went over that score already. So it's 5-3. St. Paul, they got another safety, so it's 5-3 St. Paul. Also, it is Pearl River, and so that is the scoreboard update. So we will have once again in just a few moments. So we're going to go to a full scoreboard during this news break because all the networks will be getting ready to go to their news breaks. So we will continue with our scoreboard updates. So we'll have that. Okay, let me see if I can get some more scores from Crescent City Sports. See if I can get a refresh on this one. Okay, let's give you some more scores. I'm going to scroll down real slowly. Okay, it is now Winfield up 47-7. That's in the third quarter. They just scored. Okay, Grand Lake is up 15-7. So we just updated those scores, but we're going to see if we got any more updates. Okay, Episcopal up 6-0. That's in the first quarter. Also, let's see. Looking for more scores. I'm trying to see if we got any more up. It's just same old stuff on here, but let's give you the college football updates. Okay, I'm going to give you MLB first. MLB scoreboard update. It is going into the sixth. The Astros still up 1-0. Top of the fifth. It is the St. Louis Cardinals on top 4-0. Also, in the fourth inning, it is the Rockies up 5-2. Also, the D-backs and Reds scoreless. Other games will be going on in just a few minutes. It's going to be the Rays versus the Angels, the White Sox versus the Mariners, and also the Giants versus the Marlins. So that is in MLB baseball tonight. Let's give you the full scoreboard update on college football. We're going to do that in a second. Okay, no score in the Houston and Washington State game. Okay, we'll scroll down to the FBS scoreboard. Okay, college football. It is Kansas on top 38-24. So Les Miles is finally getting the score points on people. So 38-24. Kansas has the ball. Second and 6 at the 32-yard line. Also, your final tonight, Wake Forest winning 24-18 over the North Carolina Tar Heels. So that is your scores for that. Updates. So let's see if anything else is breaking in the while we're here on tonight's show. Once again, tomorrow we'll have the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show. That will be tomorrow morning. Also, we'll have the Tulane versus Missouri State game. It'll be live streamed via Facebook, so we won't have restream. We'll live stream via Facebook tomorrow night. So let's see what's going on while we're waiting for the news updates to end. Let's go ahead and give you some. Okay, let's talk news headlines here. Gordon holds out, not a Laban situation. No, I don't think it will be a Laban Bell situation because Le'Veon. Because I'm going to be honest with you, look, Melvin Gordon, look, he wants a new contract for the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a Laban Bell situation. I really don't. So, hopefully he gets his contract resolution resolved and stuff like that, and we can get on to playing football because that's going to be a big distraction for the Los Angeles Chargers, if you know what I mean. Because look, a lot of people, I know a lot of people is bitching and moaning out in Los Angeles about Melvin Gordon saying hold out, but the truth of the matter is, if he wants his contract, he should pay it to him. But here's the thing he has to do. He has to earn his stripes. Because look, these contracts are not given. They're earned. So, word to the wise there. See what else we need to talk about before we go back to the prep football roundup. Chris Berman, TJ is back on the NFL primetime lineup that will be on ESPN Plus. So good to see those two back on the panel, which is on ESPN. So they will be on the ESPN Plus network. So if you want to see them on NFL primetime, you can go to ESPN Plus. You have to have a subscription. It's $4.99 a month. So I'm going to be honest with you, Chris Berman was the first guy that personified Sports Center and stuff like that 40 years ago when ESPN came into inception back in 1979. So I look at it this way. Look, I'm glad to see these guys back, and it just because, look, I know Chris Berman, I mean, he might be a biased person against the Saints and stuff like that, but the truth of the matter is, look, he's been in this business for 40 years, so that's something special right there. So, once again, this is from ESPN, came out at 4:02. Okay, let's see what else we're going to talk about tonight before we head to back to the prep football roundups. Okay, double check. Rodgers tries wristband with plays. That's what he's been doing for a couple of years. So I think that's going to help him in his in those plays and stuff that they call on the offensive side of the football. So I'll be honest with you, that's perfect. So once again, this is from Rob Demo Sky. You can reach him as Demo Sky. I'm saying his name right. You can reach him at ESPN. Okay, what else we need to talk about before we head back? I'm going to go ahead and go over some more information. Okay, Sean Livingston retires at 34. This is what we're showing you. He ends his 12-year career. He played He had a gruesome knee injury, so best of luck to Sean Livingston in his endeavors. So once again, we will get back to the prep football roundup that will be presented by WWL and also NAS 106.1. So let's go back to both shows.
Through the Bahamas. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 37 points. The S&P 500 dropped 2. The Nasdaq lost nearly 18. This is CBS News.
Is that still?
Did you know you can listen to CBS News Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on radio.com or the radio.com app?
Right now, that's scoreless in the second.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
You never would have dreamed that, midway through the second quarter, those two teams would be scoreless. Somebody's about to kick a field goal now, but yeah, the Carver-Brother Martin game, I've been saying, hey, if Carver plays a little defense, they could be pretty good. But I guess they're playing another good defense on the other side.
Well, and speaking of defense, how about that Rummel defense?
That's what I was going to mention too. 37-0, I think was the last thing I heard. So we could.
Slidell's pretty good, guys.
Yeah. So we could.
Slidell's pretty good, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it's not like they were playing against me and you and Les and Ed Dandies or something.
Well, speak for yourself. I mean, I still got a game.
Yeah, 37-3, I think it was, or whatever. So I mean, they could be working on a shutout. 2 games, only 3 points.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And not only Slidell's very good; they're always very good. And of course, that team in North Carolina was very good also. So obviously, they're not missing a beat with the coaching change, and we kind of expected that Coach Monaco would keep the train rolling. But these first 2 games, especially on the defensive side, are remarkable.
I think they're a senior-laden team this year, and a lot of those guys have a lot of experience. And with Jay was in the room, and now Monica's in there. Those guys hearing the same message, and look like they haven't missed a beat.
Well, they run like nobody on defense. That's it. I mean, they just have tremendous team speed, and they've got 4 kids who have already committed to play college football off their defense, and they're going to sign 2 more off their defense. So
that may not be a great idea. A better idea.
Not too bad.
That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. And how about what Neville's still doing at U-High?
21. What is it? 21-0 still. So yeah, I mean Neville, very, very impressive to say the least. Yep. And by the way, Jesuit has scored. They still trail 19-9 as we speak.
19-9.
Yep.
Okay. At least it sounds a little like a football game, doesn't it?
And I'm not sure Coach Brooks wants to be reminded of this, but that St. James score continues to impress.
Wow, I'll tell you what, I just kind of hearing about it a little bit. Look like East St. John has a lot of turnovers tonight.
They do.
Yeah.
And,
St. James is capitalizing on those things, and, being at home, when, I've been up there a couple of times in the new stadium, the atmosphere, Coach Valdez is going to have those guys hyped. And to be honest with you, man, it'll be a big win for those guys tonight. So I'm just hoping they overlook the Riverdale Rebels next week.
There you go.
Coach Valdez has been on both sides of that one.
Yes, he has.
He was at West St. John. I remember he told me the week of the game he went to the supermarket and this 12-year-old came out to get his cart and didn't even look at him, just said, "You don't have a chance on Saturday."
Yeah. Wow.
And he said, I asked, "How old are you, son?" Talking trash to me.
Figured it out, man. He's got it figured out already. And that's pretty funny, but it's good. And we'll check back in with you guys in just a little bit. We're gonna have decisions now. Scores coming in, final scores. Covenant Christian leads Abramson Sci Academy 16-0 in the fourth quarter of that game now. And it is Episcopal 33, St. Thomas Aquinas 13 going to the fourth quarter of that game. With that, let's check in with Rhett Manuel on Church Point and Southside from the Acadiana Advocate. Here's Rhett Manuel. Rhett?
Hey, guys. We are at the 7:04 mark in the fourth quarter. Southside leading Church Point 32-22. A couple more scores since we last talked. Red Pelican with another 28-yard touchdown catch. That was with 56 seconds left in the third quarter. That puts Southside up 32-15. But Church Point not going quietly. their star fullback, Ronnie Dupuy, with a 41-yard touchdown run to make it 32-22. Dupuy having 16 carries for 179 yards tonight. Pelican, I believe, has 10 catches for 176 yards. So some really great star performers on the offensive side tonight. Still 7 minutes to go, so anything can happen, but it's Southside looks like they may be in control.
All right, Rod, thank you very much. And Jonathan Oglesby standing by, Washita Christian at Sterlington. Jonathan, what's the latest?
We've got an interesting second half going on with OCS and Sterlington traded scores in the third quarter. Both of them missed the extra point. One was a beautiful block by OCS's 15, Eli Eckstein. Come the beginning of the fourth quarter, Sterlington allowed OCS to march it down and punch another one in. So OCS is full within 7.
So the score right now again?
Score right now, Sterlington still leads 26-19.
26-19. Thank you very much. Here is Scott Meyer, Holy Cross, Covington. Scott.
Hey, guys, right now with 8:50 to go in the fourth quarter, it's Holy Cross 24, Covington 14. Covington getting on the board in the third quarter with 10 seconds remaining. Blake Sharp finds Chandler Washington 9 yards on this touchdown pass. They went for 2. Sharp finds Trevor Rainey on the 2-point conversion. Holy Cross coming right back on a 65-yard kickoff return, setting the Tigers up at the Covington 25-yard line. Took them 4 plays, which was capped off by the Calvin Hobart, a 2-yard touchdown run. That extra point was good. So right now with 8:50 to go in the fourth quarter, it is Holy Cross 24, Covington 14. This is Scott Meyer reporting for the Original.
Notre Dame all over Sulphur tonight. Buck Leonard's updates us on it. Buck?
Yeah, Ken, it's really been all.
I lost it. Como defeats Cecilia tonight, 34-7. Also, it's a final. Biloxi beat Hammond tonight, 34-0. Covington had tightened it up on Holy Cross, Tommy, but now it's 24-14. The Tigers add a touchdown. Holy Cross off to a good start here this year under Coach Guy LeCompte. The Catholic League looks strong. Also, St. Charles Catholic has stretched it out a little bit. They lead by 2 possessions now over the Lutcher Bulldogs, 23-14, and a very impressive showing so far for the Hahnville Tigers. They lead Mandeville right now in the fourth quarter in Mandeville tonight, 28-7. I think that's a big time statement for that Hahnville defense, as Mandeville put up video game like numbers last week in week 1.
Yeah, it's we were wondering whether Mandeville could do that back to back, or were they that good, or did they have just such a great night? You see a little bit of a different defensive scheme, and you see a little bit less of an offensive production. So we kind of expected that, but I still think that they got some talent on that team.
Also in the fourth quarter over in Slidell, Rummel continues to shut out the Tigers. Rummel has not given up a touchdown so far through the first 2 weeks. Gave up a field goal last week. Also, St. Paul's leads Jesuit right now, 19-9. That would be a big win for Coach Sears over at Hunter Stadium. That's been a good rivalry game between St. Paul's and Jesuit, and right now the Wolves up by 10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we thought Jesuit was going to really put some numbers on the board. They put some last week. Covington obviously playing, St. Paul's playing very good defense and found a little offense this evening in Hunter Stadium.
Looking for a score? Text us, 870-870. If you have a score, you're at a game, you want to pass it along, we'd appreciate it right here at 870-870 so we can pass it around to the rest of our listeners here tonight. Also, the reminder of that Hahnville-Mandeville game is live right now. You can listen over on WWL 105.3 HD Channel 2 or online at WWL.com or the radio.com app on the streaming channel. Brad Lumine is doing all the play-by-play, and Joey Brewitt is handling the color. Tommy, anything kind of surprising here tonight? I know we've covered a lot of games. We've had a lot of really blockbuster matchups tonight. I'm surprised the way U High is getting handled. They're down 21-0 at Neville. I thought U High would go up there and play well. And maybe this is a statement for Neville, because it's kind of been a foregone conclusion that this year in 4A it was going to be Carr, Easton, and everybody else, and maybe Neville saying, "Hold on a second, don't forget about the Tigers."
I was going to say it's exactly the text that I got. He said Neville's that good. It wasn't that U High is that is any less. It's just Neville's that good. So I think you're right. It's a statement game for Neville, and it's going to make another win streak drop tonight as we. If that score holds up.
Coach Nelson Stewart's team continues to put up a lot of points. They lead Bonneville right now 44-7 in the third quarter at Joe Yenny Stadium. We know Coach Stewart can coach offense. He's got a young quarterback with a famous last name, and Arch Manning has been as good as advertised the first couple couple weeks.
Yeah, I have a score. I've been getting a text asking me for a score at a St. John Jeanneret game, and St. John is losing to Jeanneret in the fourth quarter, 15-8.
There you go. So that's how it works. You're looking for a score? Ask us. We'll get it to you. So send it in right here at 870-870. We'll try to get to all those scores. It's now time to go back to our reporters across the state.
It's time to check in with our reporters at the biggest games from across the state. These reports are brought to you by the All-State Sugar Bowl, preserving the past, ensuring the future.
All right, we're going to start with Albany and St. Michael's. Albany put up over 60 points last week. Last time we checked in with Ethan Porterline, the Hornets were getting shut out. What's going on, Ethan?
Hornets are still getting shut out. It is now 21-0. St. Michael with just 2:22 left to go here in the fourth quarter. After Albany had the ball inside the St. Michael 20 for the second time tonight, they once again turned it over on down. St. Michael then took the ball off to the left side for a 31-yard run, breaking passes from about half of the Albany defense. Ended up scoring on a 20-yard touchdown run just a few plays later, making it 14-0. Albany then gets themselves into St. Michael territory. Once again, a holding call kicks them back behind the 50. On a 4th and 18, a long pass attempt, but it was incomplete, turns the ball over on downs. Once again, St. Michael then takes the ball 44 yards on the next carry, and then just a few plays later, a 3-yard touchdown run makes it 21-0 St. Michael, which is where we stand now with 1:36 left to go here in the fourth. Reporting from Olympia Stadium, this is Ethan Bordelon for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
All right, Ethan, great job as always. The final score coming in: Live Oak defeats Woodlawn tonight, 52-20. Coach Brett Beard's team is off to a 2-0 start. Let's go back out to Slidell as Rummel was on the road taking on the Slidell Tigers. Mike Gambrell, he's always in Slidell. What's going on, Mike?
All right, guys, with 6:50 remaining in the game, Rummel holding on to a 37-0 lead over the Tigers. Slidell had a chance to score the first touchdown of the year against Rummel that anybody has scored. They get a 60-yard run from their great running back, Harlan Dixon, down to the 9-yard line. But from there, attack moves them back to the 20-yard line on 4th down. Johnson off his pass, ball is incomplete. Now, a little update on quarterback. Kyle Wicker's the starting quarterback in the second game. As the Rummel Raider quarterback, hit hard in the backfield, had to come out of the game. He looked okay, looks like he's going to sit the rest of this one out. Then quarterback John Otten for Slidell, he was taken down on one of those WWE body slam moves by defensive lineman for Rummel. He had to come out of the game. So right now, both backups in the game. Rummel in control of this one, 37-0 with 6 minutes remaining in the game. Reporting live from LV McKinney Senior Stadium, this is Mike Gambrell for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
All right, Mike, there's certainly some injuries we want to keep our eye on. Some more finals. Assumption beat Patterson 34-0. Pearl River beat Thomas Jefferson 45-20. Dutchtown was having no problem with McMain. Let's check out what Patrick Email has to say.
Hey, Alan, Patrick Email live at Dutchtown.
Thank you very much.
Dutchtown still not having a problem with McMain.
Discovery nothing. That game has 10 minutes left to play.
Most of the reserves playing last touchdown game, Stephen Whitfield. He's the hammer that they put in the game late last week against North Shore, snapped it to him, and just kind of pounded the rock. And it won't be long before the victory formation as the Griffins go 2-0 on the season. Live from Dutchtown, Griffin Field, it's Patrick Keno for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
Hey, Ken, yeah, you
all right, Patrick, great job. Let's go to Livingston Parish. Shane Smith is watching Destrehan and Walker. This game ought to be in the third quarter. We had some fireworks there in the first half. Shane Smith, what's going on?
Hey, guys, that's exactly what happened. Fireworks in the first half, but the defense is taking control here in the third quarter. And it's still 34-21 Destrehan. Destrehan came up with two big four-count stops tonight as they stopped the Walker Wildcats.
Mike, thank you very much. St. Thomas Aquinas at Episcopal and David Brown. Crescent City Sports is on the scene.
Walker defense would come up with a controversial fumble recovery. The Destrehan coaches felt like the kid was down, but the referee disagreed. Ruled it was a fumble, but Destrehan was not able to capitalize. Walker was not able to capitalize on that drive. We're right about to start the fourth quarter here. It is 34-21. Destrehan Wildcats on top of the homestanding Walker Wildcats. Football Roundup. I'm Shane Smith reporting.
All right, Lakeview beat Northwood Lena 64-14. Mangum beat St. Frederick 34-12. Let's go to Mandeville as Hahnville is on the road against the Skippers tonight, and the Tigers flexing their muscles over there in Mandeville. Let's check in with Joey Brewitt.
to play.
With 8 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the game, it's the Hahnville Tigers 28, the Mandeville Skippers
St. Helena at East Feliciana.
13.
Smokey Leonard with this update. Smokey.
Hahnville opened the second half by receiving the kickoff and started at their own 20 after a touchback. The Tigers went 3 and out and punted it away to the Skippers. On the second play from scrimmage, Mandeville had a fumble that was recovered by Hahnville inside the 15-yard line. Hahnville made the first down and then scored on a 2-yard run up the middle. The extra point was good and made it 21-7 Hahnville. Mandeville's next possession saw 1 first down, but the Skippers had to punt it away with 6 minutes left in the third. With 2 minutes left in the third, Hahnville scored an 11-yard run by Trey LaBranch, his second of the night. Another extra point made it 28-7 Tigers. Mandeville's next drive was slow and steady, and a few yards here and a few yards there, but they progressed up the field and got into the red zone. With 9:34 left in the game, the Skippers scored on a 3-yard run by Zon Diaz. The extra point was missed and left it at 28-13. Currently, Mandeville has the ball.
All right, thank you very much, Smokey.
Right at
One of the
midfield.
better games of the night. Mike Ferreri is there.
And here on the
Lucky
North
to see
Shore,
this one. What's the latest, Mike?
It's Hahnville 28, Mandeville 13. Reporting from Mandeville, this is Joey Brewitt for the WWL All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup.
Mandeville not going down without a fight, trying to get back in that one in the fourth quarter. Some more finals. Turling's Catholic beat Hannon 49-8. It's a final for Monroe. Neville beats University High 28-0. The Tigers shut out the Cubs at home in Monroe. Let's check in with Matt Fritcher. He's watching Holy Cross in Covington at Jack Salter Stadium.
Hey guys, with 5:45 remaining to go in the ballgame, the score Holy Cross 24, Covington 14. As the Lions missed 2 makeable field goals in the third quarter.
Going down the wire. Thank you very much, Mike. Bears Pool Boys at Generals. Have the best Pool Boys in town, bar none. The onion rings are delicious. The Bears has every burger you could possibly conceive of, along with other delicious sandwiches, including the best roast beef Pool Boy anywhere. Also the fruity and the grilled shrimp Pool Boy and salad. Open daily for lunch and weekdays for dinner. Visit Bears at 3206 Battery Road at Causeway Boulevard for an outstanding, inexpensive dining experience. I guarantee you will enjoy it. And we thank Aroma Catering at 400 East William David Parkway in Battery, the place to visit for all your wedding, party, and catering needs. Aroma Catering can prepare anything from a casual box lunch to an elegant
Great
buffet.
job, Matt. Great job, reporters. We'll check back in with those guys in about 20 minutes or so. Ponchatoula has stretched out to a 10-point lead over Denham Springs. They lead those guys 31-21. Also, Bellchase has taken a lead at Shaw. The Cardinals lead the Shaw Eagles 20-14. That is a fourth quarter score. Let's go ahead and get to a break. We come back. We got a lot more. We still got over an hour to go here on the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL.
I gotta tell you, the Ford F-150 and I, well, we're kind of like family. Ford's the #1 selling truck in America for 42 years. And
Okay, scoreboard update during the commercial break. So let's begin with scoreboard update. So let's give you a scoreboard update. Okay, let's give you a scoreboard update. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, scoreboard update. It is let's see. Let's go ahead and refresh the scoreboard. Crescent City Sports is the website. Let's go ahead and go back. Okay, let's give you an update on different games going on. Okay, Red River is up 20-8. That's in the third quarter. Also, it is Lakeview on top 64-14. And also, let's see. It is Sterlington on top 26-13. Covington Christian on top 16-0. St. Charles Catholic on top 23-14. Also, it is Parkway Baptist on top, Parkview 21-0. Also, it is Brazil on top 19-14. Laurierville on top 20-14. Pine on top 30-15 of Bogalusa. It is also Pearl River on top 42-7. Finals coming in. Lafayette Christian winning 51-6. It is also Booker T. Washington down at halftime 14-12. It is Assumption on top 34-0. It is 10-3 still in the fourth quarter. Thibodaux and South Lafourche. Also, Southside is up 32-22. Natchitoches Central is on top 21-12. It is Capital on top 16-8 in the fourth quarter. Also, St. Paul is on top 19-9. Also, it is Destrehan on top 34-21. And it's Como on top 34-7, and also Edie White on top 28-0. We just heard the score from Bell Chase and Shaw. It is 20-14. Also, it is St. Thomas More on top 42-17. Also, it is Acadiana on top 21-20. Cedar Creek wins 33-7. St. John and Johnarette is no scoreless. There's no score in there. They kind of they don't have no reporters there over there in Johnarette, Louisiana. Also, it is 18-13 Sicily Island on top of LaSalle. Also, it is Montgomery on top 48-8. It is also Winfield on top 54-13 on Lincoln Prep. Mendon on top 35-7. Highland Baptist on top 12-8. Also, it is Benton on top 8-0. That's still in the second quarter. We don't know what's going on there. I don't think they have a reporter from that area that's reporting on that game. It is Grand Lake on top 15-7. Peabody on top 36-18. Independence and Central Private. There's no update on that one, so we don't know what's going on there. So we're just looking through all the scores. Also, it is Calvary Baptist up 46-0, and also it is Catholic Point Capri is tied up at 28. Assumption Christian on top 22-7. Also, Assumption Catholic. Assumption Christian is on top 49-26. South Beauregard is on top 26-14. Also, Episcopal on top 40-13. Also, it is still 35-8. We didn't get an update on Lakeshore and South Plaquemines. Also, it is Mangum on top 39-12. It is West Washita on top 28-6. It is Menard on top 31-7. Also, it is the Quincy on top 26-19. It is also Springfield on top 7-0. Kentwood is on top 30-27. That's against Joel Sumner. Also, Crowley is on top 18-6. Airline is on top 29-12. It is also East St. John down 30-7 to St. James. So we'll go back to the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup and also the original Prep Football Roundup from Nash 106.1.
True, that was a great observation there, but our defense bowed their necks at that time and kept them out of the end zone. We had some stuff planned. And
back, Jason, on that thrilling ending, and keep everybody posted. Thank you very much for that. Here's Hart Pisani.
Coach Alan Waddell, congratulations on the victory tonight. When your defense shows up, obviously you have a chance to win the football game. This is an Albany club that put over 60 points on the board last week. Your defense played well tonight.
Well, yeah, I appreciate it. And you're exactly right. When they show up, they always will give you a chance to win. But we challenged our defense this week to step up and get these guys and slow them down a little bit. And they answered the call and made some big plays when it counted at the end of the game. When they got inside our 40.
Well, Coach, congratulations and good luck next week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, St. Michael's beats Auburn tonight. Let's go back out to Coach Louis Cook as Notre Dame beats Sulphur tonight in convincing fashion, 46-7. Buck, you got Coach?
Yep, Coach is right here. How about it?
Hey, guys. Hey, Coach, man, Alan Waddell, congratulations on the win tonight. Man, you set the tone early with a big safety. Your defense really set the tone tonight against Sulphur.
Yeah, that's a great way to get started and come out, put the pressure on them the way that we did. Then you get you get the kickoff and get good field position, and we go put that one in. So it kind of got us off on a real good start. We were kind of we're not familiar at all with Sulphur. First time I've ever coached a game against you guys. Of course, they got a new coach in, so everything's different for them. But just it was a good team effort. Our defense played really, really well, and the offense, I thought they executed we made plays when we had to keep the chain moving.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Final score, it was Selman 34, North Shore 14.
Coach, every year you seem to put a great defense on the field. I know that's your culture over there, and those kids know that the names change, but the product stays the same. I mean, I'm guessing, that's what you're looking for.
40. Yeah, there's no doubt. I heard you guys talking
for the third quarter.
With Shane Mikes and those guys before. Said the defense shows up. You're gonna be in every game with defense, and that's we've always said. We take our better athletes and try to put them on the defensive side and see if we can hold people down. And our Coach Mack and the guys do such a great job of preparing them. And it's kind of been the hallmark. Although the last 2 years.
All right, thank you, Chris Hammond. Made a tough trip to play a really good Biloxi High team tonight. Darren Gamilla with the final.
We've had some kids come in and we've kind of opened up a little bit more, and it's been really fun going at it the last 2 years.
Well, Coach, congratulations and good luck next week.
20. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
No problem. As Louis Cook and Tommy, listen, they got a machine over there. I mean, they just keep winning 46-7. They beat a 5A team tonight in Sulphur. Defense caused 2 safeties. And like I just said to Coach, here's the deal. Notre Dame, year in and year out, they look exactly the same. The names change, but the program stays the same and the culture stays the same. They've got a really special thing going on over there in Crowley.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Cook doesn't put that on a banner in his locker room. That's a really nice statement. That the product does stay the same. And it's the program. It's the process. People don't like to hear the Nick Saban name, but it is the process, and it's not that they're that much better than everybody. Position by position, but they follow the process year after year, and you get a lot of the same results.
I got someone on the text line looking for a Lutcher score. It's coming down to the wire. We thought it would be a good game, and it's turned out to be that way. St. Charles Catholic leads Lutcher 23-21. That game being played at the Dog Pound over there in Lutcher. Lutcher played a tight one last week against Amite. They had a lead, kind of gave up that lead there in the second half and fell. We'll see if they can come from behind tonight and get a victory over a good St. Charles team.
Yeah, St. Charles has the ball right now, so don't know how much time's left in that game. I know it's in the fourth quarter, but Lutcher's going to have a hold and then an offensive run here to get ahead of St. Charles.
A final comes in from the North Shore as well, as Salmon beats North Shore tonight 34-14. So Salmon rebounds. They lost last week to Hammond. They're now 1-1. They beat North Shore in one of those battles of Slidell 34-14.
Yeah, Salmon is an interesting school. They're a team that shows up some games, and then they against some big teams, they struggle sometimes. I'm looking for that team to really get their feet underneath them after this win and make a little bit of run. But like you said, that's a gauntlet out there. I mean, you face good teams week in and week out.
I tell you though, our state is better when Salmon's good. Listen, I think back to Dwayne Woods and all those guys, and then a few years ago the battles they had with Franklinton in that district is man, that's a good program, and they've had some serious highs. I can remember them knocking off Curtis, back there in the 90s, and when Salmon's good in football, it's certainly better for our state. There's no doubt about it. Some fourth quarter scores: St. James leads East St. John 30-7. St. Paul's on top of Jesuit right now, 19-9. Also, Sandoval, they stretched it out against East Jefferson. The Warriors were hanging tight in that one early, but now it's 41-20. Sandoval leads, and Rummel, they complete the shutout over Slidell. They went 37-0.
Yeah, and I think Coach Monica's going to be a little happy to know that they had some offensive production tonight. They get another big test next week as they go on the road to Hattiesburg to play Oak Grove. I know Coach Monica was looking for some offensive production. Another score, Alan, what surprised me last week is the Sports Writers Association flip-flopped Carr and St. Thomas More after that 1 week. I thought, like you, Carr played Jesuit, took him to the, John Curtis took him to the wire. I thought that was about as good of a defeat as you could possibly have for a team. They had a lot of offensive production. And looking at what St. Thomas More is doing tonight with Barb, 49-17, makes me wonder, maybe they do have it right.
Well, let's just say this. that doesn't really matter because both of those teams are machines. And for me, and I know Evangel's now there in D2, but St. Thomas More is the favorite for me in Division 2, and Carr's the favorite in 4A. Now I know, Neville's got something to say about that. Warren Easton's got something to say about that in Division 2. U High, Evangel, they have something to say about that.
Warren Easton's got something to say next week about that.
Yeah, certainly so. But certainly, here's an update from over at Shaw. Bell Chase is stretched out to 28-14, so the Cardinals trying to rain on their parade over at Shaw as they named the field after Coach Zimmerman tonight. But right now, Shaw's thrown 3 interceptions, including a pick 6. So, Shaw struggled with some turnovers last week a little bit as well. They got to clean that up if they're going to compete in the Catholic League.
I was going to say, we saw that. We talked about that last week. They're a little loose offensively. I think it's because they're young. Like Coach Faldon told us, they're predominantly 8th, 9th, 10th graders. So with youth, you're going to have things like that. But they got to clean it up, or else it's not going to be pretty in the Catholic League.
All right, why don't we go ahead and take a break? That way we can come back and get some more winning coaches. So we'll go ahead and take our break right here at 9:32, and we'll come back. We're going to have some more finals, some more winning coaches. We still have an hour to go, Tommy. We're not going anywhere. Right here on the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL.
For some other updates as we speak, as we keep you posted. Let's see, Ponchatoula recovered an onside kick, so they hold the ball, leading 31-24 over Denham Springs with about 2 minutes left to play in that contest. Scotlandville now leading Natchez 44-8 fourth quarter. Scotlandville 44, Natchez, Mississippi 8. That game goes to the fourth quarter as we speak. Now let's check in with Chris Kincaid of the Bogalusa Daily News, who's got a final score. Chris, what do you have?
Hey, Ken, Pine beats Bogalusa 50-31. Logan Temples threw 4 touchdowns, 2 to Jordan Anderson, 2 to Drake Westmoreland each. This was a 30-15 game nearing the end of the first half. Temples completed a 35-yard pass, kind of a jump ball Hail Mary type of pass to Jordan Anderson at the end of the first half. They got the 2-pointer, and that pushed it 3 possessions. Pine extended to a 44-15 lead at the outset of the second half on the Drake Westmoreland 15-yard run. And then from there, it was kind of back and forth in a 50-31 final. Pine wins over Bogalusa. Reporting for the original, this is Chris Kincaid.
Okay, Chris, thank you very much. Now Richard Tiberville with a final score. Richard.
Hey, Ken, it's final here at the Eagles Nest in Alexandria. Holy Savior Menard defeats Buckeye 31-7 on a dominant night for the Holy Savior Menard Eagles. Drew Scully goes off for 3 touchdowns, 2 in the second quarter, that really opened this game up. And then they added a couple touchdowns in the third quarter to account for the final score. It's just a really dominant performance by Holy Savior Menard all the way around, completely locking up the Buckeye team who was trying to get the wing tee going, but just could never find an opening. They did score in the second quarter on a long pass play, which was passes were few and far between in this game, which was how this game ended so quickly. Those teams were run-oriented, and it ended up with a 31-7 win for the Holy Savior Menard Eagles. So for the original, I'm Richard Tiberville.
Okay, Richard, thank you very much for that update. And now let's check in with Alex Newell, who has the latest on Elton Vinton, which is a final there. Alex?
Hey, guys. It is a final score here at B.S. Walker Stadium in Vinton. The Vinton Lions have topped the Elton Indians 36-6 to move to 1-1 on the season. Vinton used a big play to score all night long, with their shortest touchdown of the night being 27 yards and the longest touchdown of the night being 78. They were able to shut down the Elton offense most of the night, except to the very, very last play of the game.
Is 4.125%. APR 4.22%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN to learn how taking cash out with a 30-year fixed mortgage might be the right solution for you. And for a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rates subject to change. 8.88% fee to receive this
Sterling Catholic beat Archbishop Hannon 49-8. Sterling Catholic 49, Archbishop Hannon
5.3 HD2 or online at WWL.com or the radio.com app on the WWL HD2 streaming channel. Now back to the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup with Seth Dunlap and Alan Waddell and our crew of reporters statewide.
Played really well.
A good win for
All right, welcome back.
Christian tonight. Steve, thanks. We'll talk next week. We appreciate
Winning
it.
coaches,
We'll
final
take a time out
scores
here.
coming
Back
in
with
right
more
now.
final
I got
scores.
someone
Back with
looking
more
for the
everything.
Fountain
We give
Blue
you more
score. I
right
got you an
here
update
on
here.
here.
Fountain Blue is trailing Franklinton 35-33 with 3:24 to play in the fourth quarter. And Fountain Blue just scored, so Franklinton will be getting the football. So that one's a kind of a barn burner going on there between Fountain Blue and Franklinton.
Yeah, sounds like a great night of football out there. When you get those close games early on, it does two things. Yeah, you give the fans some product that they really enjoy seeing, but it gives those kids the confidence to move forward, knowing that they've been in a close game, and down the road, that'll come back and help them.
St. Paul's finishes it off a very nice win for Coach Sears and the Wolves. They beat Jesuit tonight 19-16. Tommy, Jesuit looked really good last week. That's a big win, I think, for St. Paul's.
It really is. I think it says a lot about St. Paul's defense when you hold Jesuit, who had a pretty good offensive week last week, to hold them to 9 points, and including one of them being a safety. You basically gave them 2 points. You held them to 1 touchdown. That's a pretty impressive win.
It's a final over at Shaw. Belchase beat Shaw tonight 28-14 as they named the stadium after Coach Zimmerman. Didn't go their way. Turned the football over a little bit too much. The Archbishop Shaw Eagles, they threw 3 interceptions tonight, including a pick 6. And Belchase goes into Shaw on a special night and kind of rains on their parade. Big win for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it was a win that Shaw was certainly looking for. But again, I think that staff and their alumni, they know that they're young. They know they have some talent that's young. And, that program's going to get better every year and hopefully be real competitive toward the end of that senior class.
A lot of finals coming in. Holy Cross beat Covington 24-14. Parkway beats North DeSoto 35-14. We said it earlier, Rumble beat Slidell 37-0. Cedar Creek beat St. Mary 33-7. Grand Lake beat Ville Platte 22-7. Vinton beat Elton 36-6. Turling's Catholic all over Archbishop Hannon tonight 49-8. And it looks like we have a winning coach coming in from Slidell as the Rummel Raiders knock off the Slidell Tigers tonight. We're going to get to that winning coach in just a moment. Also, Pine beat Bogalusa tonight 50-31. And if we have if we have Mike Gambrell ready, we're going to go ahead and get to that.
Post-game interviews are brought to you by Shell. Creative energy, the rhythm of Louisiana.
All right, Mike, let's have it.
All right, guys, this is Mike Gambrell, Slidell Rummel, our final. Rummel 37-0 over Slidell with winning head coach Sig Monica.
I wrote this next song for a gal from Cheyenne. Should never have told her how Progressive's collision insurance.
In a row, your defense has kept the other opponent out of the end zone. You got to be really happy with the way your defense has played the first 2 weeks against 2 quality opponents.
Yeah, I was very pleased with the defense and the effort, and just the way they got after it from the start. And we didn't have a great week of practice, especially Monday and Tuesday, so a little bit surprising, but the guys got after it and, did what they needed to do.
Hey, Coach Monica, Tommy Bosch, congratulations on a win. Long time no see. I know you're looking for progress in this pre-district round, so did you get the progress you wanted offensively tonight? Because I know y'all faced a really tough defense last week at Charlotte, so did you see what you wanted to see offensively as far as progress?
What we did with the execution was much better. I thought Kyle did a good job of running the offense, and the backs did a much better job of being more aggressive. However, we had a ton of penalties, entirely too many penalties to win close football games, and it didn't cost us tonight, but it will down the line. And we got to fix it. It got to be ridiculous. At one point, we'd have a chunk play and get called back, and then a pre-snap penalty, and it's all things that need to be fixed. And, I think we might have had probably close to 500 yards of offense tonight, but it didn't seem that way because
For 25 years, we've been the prep source you can count on. It's Ken Trahan's original Louisiana Prep Football Report on 106.1 Nash Icon.
That other Coach Monica's in a war right now. Make sure you tell him that you got a better winning percentage than he does. Good luck next week in Oakland.
1240 AM New Iberia. Sports Talk.
All right, Rummel beat Slidell tonight 37-0. Coach Monica starts his young coaching career at 2-0. at the Rummel Raiders as, again, 2 games now played for Rummel, one against Slidell, one against Charlotte Catholic out of North Carolina. They were on the road last week. They haven't given up a touchdown yet. Pretty impressive by the Raiders.
Scores Ponchatoula beat Denver Springs 31-24.
And I happen to know because I was there and I played on this team. The 1976 Rummel team gave up 22
Booker T.
points
Washington
in 10
defeating
games,
John F. Kennedy 36-15.
Yeah, I think this defense has a chance to break that record, and if they get some offensive, play and some consistency, they got a chance to make the run all the way to the end.
One thing we should have asked him is about his quarterback. Mike made a comment earlier about his young quarterback, Wickersham, went down with an injury in this game, so we don't know how serious it was, but we do know at one point he had to check out of the football game. So we'll try to get an update on that before we get off the air at 10:30. Brother Martin, they won a low-scoring game tonight. They beat Carver 10-0, a very impressive showing. A lot of Catholic League defenses playing really well tonight. Brother Martin shuts out Carver 10-0 over there at Tad Grumley. Let's go to Shane Smith as he's watching Destrehan and Walker. I know this one's not over, as this one was still at halftime about 30 minutes ago.
Well, guys, it's almost over. It's 5:55 to play in this ball game, and Destrehan has really stepped up here in the second half and taken over. He leads 48-21.
Wow.
Just to give you an example of things
Thank you, James. Greg Phillips, Ruston Acadiana.
The
Greg,
Destrehan
what do you have?
quarterback has rushed for 3 touchdowns, and they've really taken over. But the story to me has been the defense of Destrehan, and the way they played the second half, and just now as Walker was driving all the way down to the Destrehan 9.
At the half,
running back Walker takes the handoff. He gets hit. The ball pops straight up in the air. Number 9
driving in the fourth quarter, but they missed a
scoops it in the air, guys. Kelvin Lee and goes 93 yards for the touchdown. To really put this game out of reach. Then just to show you when the ball is bouncing your way, the fast snap of the ensuing PAT, the kicker scoops the ball, pitches it back to the snapper.
All right, great. Thank you, Wayne Barber. Final score, winning coach. Wayne, go ahead.
For a 2-point conversion.
Well, hey, Shane, what's your thoughts on Destrehan's back, Edwards? It's not very often. It's not very often where you see a guy who's committed to Alabama that we haven't really seen carry the football that much. He's kind of been in the shadow of John Emery the last few years. They just seem to grow running backs in the river parishes. Your thoughts on him tonight?
Well, Alan, you know me pretty well. I believe perfectly goals, so it just pains me to say this. But this kid is the real deal. He can really play, and he's a prototypical, in my mind, Alabama north-south back, puts his foot in the ground, and he goes. And he's got breakaway speed. Not a lot of wiggle, but he just runs you over. Like I said, just reminds me of typical Alabama backs. He'll put a few pounds on him when he gets there, and he'll be even better.
All right, Shane, well, thanks a bunch. We appreciate that report, and we'll check back with you in just a little bit.
As good as I thought.
Kyle Edwards, 6 foot 210. As soon as he gets in that Alabama program and they get him on their regiment with diet and
2 games, 2 shutouts, Mark. It doesn't get any better than that.
He could end up being 230, 235 and be faster, stronger, and quicker than he is now at 210.
Just go back in your memory. You can go back 20 years if you want, but you can just go back recent memory, like in the last 10 years, and look at the backs these River Parish teams continue to put out. Puka Williams, we see what he's doing tonight. I mean, for some reason, Kansas has figured out how to score a bunch of points tonight. They couldn't score any the first 2 weeks. They got over 40 against Boston College, and Puka Williams is one of those guys. Over at Hahnville, Alfred Blue, a Hahnville back as well in the NFL, has been in the NFL, and then John Emery and now Edwards back to back. I mean, these programs, Hahnville, Destrehan, they just keep producing these big time backs.
Yeah, and you see it all the way, all across Louisiana. It's not just in certain spots. We just have backs coming from all over the place. And, another final I just picked up, Faraday beat Plaquemine High 48-14. So I pick up my first loss in the pool tonight.
No doubt, as that's our team draft challenge. We'll talk about that a little bit later here on our program. Destrehan has just poured it on. They're up 48-21 over Walker. That was a 14-7 lead at one point for the Walker Wildcats over Destrehan. Also, Catholic of Baton Rouge, they now lead 14-7 over North Little Rock. That game's being played at Shreveport's Independence Stadium in the battle on the Bayou. Let's go out to Covington at Jack Salter Stadium as Holy Cross knocks off the Lions here tonight. Here's Matt Fritcher.
It's just something
Hey guys, I'm with Coach Galikop. Coach, good game, Coach. 14 hard victory here at Jack Salter Stadium.
made the team show a lot tonight.
And we were getting.
Yeah, I'm real proud of them.
The ball, so great
They kept fighting to the end. I'm real proud of our guys.
Like we just played, you got to get multiple guys there.
Coach DeCon, this is Alan Waddell. Congratulations on the win. I know you certainly know how tough it is to go over there and play at Jack Salter Stadium in that venue, and you take your kids over there and get a nice victory and really get it done with defense. You shut those guys out for most of the game.
Yeah, defense. I mean, we've always hung ahead of all my teams we've always hung ahead with defense. I mean,
Coach Brooks,
just look at its track record. So I still believe in defense and being able to run the football, although we throw it.
Well, Coach, congratulations and good luck next week.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Holy Cross, they beat Covington tonight, Tommy, 24-14. Man, I tell you, there's going to be some low-scoring games in this Catholic League. You look at some of the performances tonight, Rummel still hasn't given up a touchdown. Brother Martin shuts out Carver tonight, 10-0. Holy Cross, they beat Covington tonight, 24-14. We know what Coach DeCon can do defensively. They got some defense in the early season being played right now with these Catholic League schools.
They really do. And like you heard Coach Louis Cook earlier, what do you tell you?
Right.
As long as your defense shows up, you got a chance to win.
That's the culture these schools want to play with. Like I said, sometimes the names change, but the system stays the same. We're keeping our eye on St. Charles Catholic and Lutcher. That one's still in the fourth quarter. Comets lead Lutcher 23-21. We'll try to have you an update on that one when we come back. We'll be here till 10:30. More winning coaches, more finals coming up here on the All-State Sugar Bowl Prep Football Roundup on WWL.
40-19. Sterlington came back hard in the fourth quarter after OCS drove the ball down to bring it within 14 points, but Sterlington proved a little bit too tough to handle with little number 26 rushing for 246 yards on 23 attempts. So Sterlington ended up winning this one 40-19. Tough loss for OCS. They go to 1-1, and Sterlington's 2-0 in the season.
All right, thank you very much. Bunkie defeated St. Edmunds 14-9. Bunkie 14, St. Edmunds 9 final. Channing Ewing's at the Battle on the Border, and he's watching North Little Rock, Arkansas, and Catholic of Baton Rouge. What do you have, Channing?
Well, Ken, this is halftime. We already had our first game. That was exciting. So for West Monroe, Catholic High is already leading North Little Rock 17-7. Bearing any miracles, Catholics probably got to win on this one, but we'll see how the second half plays out. So that'll be interesting.
All right, so 17-7, Catholic of the half. Thank you, Channing. Brief timeout. All the scores from Judy and Matt when we return on the original.
I take pride in our home and was tired of the expense and aggravation of having to paint every few years. That's when I heard an ad.
Okay, we'll also have scores as well. We'll have a sports update. Let's go ahead and go over the scores in just a second. Let me put my thing down. Okay, we'll give you score updates on high school football and Major League Baseball going on, and also college football as well. Let's give you a score update. We're at 9:49. We'll end at 10 o'clock tonight. Those shows on the WWL will be at 10:30, but we will end at 10. So 3 hours. Turlington Catholic defeated Hannon 49-8. So they did defeat Hannon 49-8. Also up in Gulfport, it is 54-47. Picayune Memorial on top. Also, it is Destrehan in the fourth quarter on top, 34-21. It is 12-3 Thibodeau on top of South Lafourche. Also, it is 45-7 Newman on top of Bonneville. Also, Dutchtown is on top 24-0. That's in the at halftime. Also, it is St. Patrick of Biloxi on top 21-7. Also, Bay High of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi on top 43-6 against Kennard Discovery. Also, it is Hanville on top 34-14. Also, final, this is not correct. It's Shaw losing to Bell Chase 24-14. So this is not incorrect. So please don't. Also, it's St. James on top 30-7. It is also 12-3 St. Paul's on top of Jesuit. Also, Lockjaw on top 27-23. Franklinton is on top 15-13. Santa Mont is on top 40-20. Edie White on top 28-0. Also, it is Ponchatoula on top 24-21. Pearl River wins 45-20. Higgins loses to Luxury Charter 40-25. Also, it was a final. Rummel winning 37-0. Ben Franklin losing to Assumption Christian 49-26. And also, Holy Cross wins 24-14. So next week, the game between Chalmette and Holy Cross will commence next week. So that's going to be a pretty good rivalry. Also, St. Michael's winning 21-6. That's the final. So that is your scoreboard update from scorestream.com. Let's go ahead and see what else we can give you on the Crescent City Sports. We'll give you more scores on there as well. Okay, more scores on the Crescent City Sports.com. We had to update them because some of the scores might be. Okay, West Monroe defeated CL Bird 24-0. Also, Kinder loses 34-28 to Iowa. Also, Opelousas Catholic defeating Vermilion Catholic 33-21. It was St. Martin winning 27-0 over a Cold Class C. Let's see. Final score was Lakeview defeating Norfolk of Lena 64-14. Also, it was Covenant Christian winning 16-0. Surriton winning 40-19. Also, it was Park View Baptist winning 21-0. Luxor is down 23-13. Also, Brazil and Maimu is tied up at 28. Also is Lorville on top 20-14. Bogalusa loses 50-31. Also, it was Pearl River winning 45-20. Also, it was Lafayette Christian winning 51-6. Also, Assumption winning 34-0. Huntington winning 14-12. That was the final, so it's 12-3 the final. Thibodeau wins, so 12-3 final. The last time we checked was in the third quarter, but it came in final 12-3. Also, Natchitoches Central wins 21-12. St. Paul wins over Jesuit 19-16. So that score on ScoreStream was incorrect. It was 12-3, but it was 19-16 St. Paul. Also, Destrehan winning 48-21. Como winning 34-7 over Cecilia. Edie White winning 28-7. Also, that's the final right there. It was 28-14. Barb losing to St. Thomas More 56-17. Ruston losing 28-20 to Benton. Also, Cedar Creek winning 33-7. Also, Ringgold loses to Montgomery 54-20. Winsfield wins 54-13. Also, Menden winning 35-7. Highland Baptist winning 12-8. Benton winning 36-6. Also, Grand Lake winning 22-7. Peabody winning 54-26. And also, Calvary Baptist winning 46-0. And also, Assumption Episcopal wins 34-8. And Assumption Catholic wins 35-7. This looks like in the fourth quarter, looks like it's over there. South Beauregard winning 40-14 over Rose Pine. I'm trying to scroll some more scores down. It was West Washita winning 28-6. Menard winning 31-7. Also, Lake Arthur winning losing 26-19, so it's in the fourth quarter. Also, Springfield up 7-0. Bonky wins 14-9. Kentwood is in the fourth quarter, 30-27 is that score. Also, it is Mansfield on top 20-6. North Webster wins 33-9. Also, it's the Bulls losing 36-16. Laranja and me, I think they got a score ready on that game, so I think it was 14-13. So I think we have to refresh it because sometimes the scores might not be updated and stuff like that, and stuff like that. So, let's see. Faraday wins 36-0. St. Michael's wins 21-6. Rain wins 19-8. Also, it was Northwood Shreveport winning 28-12. So they're winning right now. So it should be in the fourth quarter. Northwest is on top, 22-14. Neville wins 28-0. Parkway wins 35-14 over North DeSoto. Dutchtown winning over McMain 38-0. Also, Leesville winning it's 48-40. So Lake Charles Catholic and Leesville is about an 8-point lead. Also, Booker T. Washington wins 36-15. Also, it was Eunice winning 19-7. Final score out of the Brother Martin and Carver game, it was Brother Martin winning 10-0. Bastrop winning 32-25 over Evangel Christian. Also, the Ritter losing 42-40. Also, it was Robridge winning 20-9. Also, it was Central Baton Rouge winning 42-0. Also, was Port Barrier winning 13. It's at halftime, but we don't know if that's a final or something like that. So we're going to assume it's 13-0. So also Bel Air leading 22-6 fourth quarter. Notre Dame winning 46-7 in the fourth quarter. Also, it is Terrebonne winning 60-0. Also, Scotlandville wins over Natchez, Mississippi 44-8. Tioga wins 33-14. Karen Crow wins 48-13. Also, Salmon wins 34-14. Lafayette wins 38-7. Also, it was Woodlawn and Baton Rouge losing to Live Oak 52-20. Sam Houston beats LaGrange 42-14. Holy Cross wins 24-14. We just updated that score. Fountain Blue loses 41-35. Hammond loses 34-0 to Biloxi. Halton wins 21-10. Santamont is winning 41-20. I don't know if that's a final. I mean, they didn't get an update on it. So, also Ponchatoula is ahead 31-24. So they did win that game. So 31-24 was the final. Vicksburg, Mississippi, and Benton. Benton is up 42-28. Central Lafourche wins 56-16. Also, Newman wins 44-7. Alexandria wins over Brewing 21-17. Catholic of Baton Rouge is up 17-7. That's at halftime against North Little Rock up in Shreveport. Also, it is Hineville up 34-14. Deerfield beats Florida. That's going to be playing tomorrow. Also, West St. John and Riverdale. Also, Helen Cox and John Eric. Landry Walker will take on St. Aug. John Curtis will take on Westlake, Georgia. Also, Woodlawn Shreveport will play tomorrow. Also, Wassman wins 49-0. St. Mary's loses. West St. Mary's loses 49-22. And once again, Chalmette will, due to scheduling conflicts from last Friday, Chalmette will play Soapy B. Wright tomorrow night at Pan Am Stadium. That will be at 7 p.m. So if you was looking for that Chalmette score, please, we don't have it. They don't play until tomorrow. So that is your scoreboard update for high school football tonight. We'll give you some MLB scores. They're getting ready to go off the air, the prep football reports. So we're going to go ahead and go over the scores. So let's switch them over. So we're about to go over scores. So we're going to start going over some baseball scores and stuff like that. Let's go over some MLB baseball action tonight. Okay, MLB action, bottom of the 11th. The Yankees and Blue Jays tied up at 5. Also in the bottom of the 8th, if the Oakland A's up 10-7. That's 2 balls and 1 strike, no outs. Also, the Astros up 4-1, top of the 9th. The Astros have runners at first and second and 2 outs. Also, it is the St. Louis Cardinals winning 10-0 in the top of the 8th inning. It is the Colorado Rockies winning 9-7. That's in the bottom of the 6th. Also in the bottom of the 5th, it is the Reds up 4-1 against the Arizona D-backs. Also, Tampa Bay Rays up 4-1. Also, the Seattle Mariners is up 3-2. And also, let's see, no score between the Miami Marlins and the San Francisco Giants. Your finals from earlier tonight, the Cubs win 17-8 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Atlanta Braves win 5-0. Also, the Baltimore Orioles win 6-2. Also, the Dodgers win 9-2 over the New York Mets. And also, the Cleveland Indians and the Minnesota Twins was postponed due to rain. The opener will begin a 3-game AL showdown, so it's gonna be postponed, doubleheaded tomorrow. So that will be on the plate tomorrow. Let's give you the college football scoreboard alerts, college football updates. We'll give you the Canadian football games as well. The game, we see a Canadian game on right now, so we'll give you the Canadian football scores as well. I got to go to tsn.com for that update. Okay. Houston, it's up 14-7. The Washington State Cougars have 2nd and 2 at the 13-yard line. Let's see. Let's give you another score. Okay. Kansas wins 48-24 over Boston College. They are now 1-1 on the season. Congratulations to Les Miles on his first win versus the Boston College. Also, Wake Forest wins 24-18. They are now 3-0 in the season, so they're off to a good start. So that is good for that team. So once again, that's MLB scores and also high school football scores as well. So we will conclude tonight. Let's go ahead and switch out. Okay, once again, this concludes the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Friday Night High School Football Show for Friday, September 13th. We'll be back on tomorrow with the regular show, Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer. We'll have the college football updates during the broadcast tomorrow. So if you want to come in and talk about anything in the world of sports, you can come in and talk about it. So we'll be talking about it as well. So we will be we'll be on tomorrow, and then also tomorrow night we will be in Yuma Stadium for Tulane versus Missouri State. That will be we will live stream the broadcast via Facebook because Restream we cannot get a legitimate connection for Restream, so we will be on Facebook. If any YouTube, Periscope, or Twitch users want to come on that, we got to go to Facebook, search my name, Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer. It's also going to be on my personal page as well. So once again, we are going to go ahead and conclude. Everybody have a good rest of your Friday evening, and we'll be back tomorrow for Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer. Have a good evening, folks.